Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Xoxo, this is Xoxo Tarot, and in today's Pick a Labubu reading, yes, I know, we are going to be asking who in the present or the future has or will have a crush on you. We're gonna get into the reading into a moment, but I have to talk about we gotta talk about this, okay? I started off as a Labubu hater, I'm gonna be completely honest, because I have this genetic disease called not being like other girls. I was born with it, and as a result, I missed out on a lot of fun things growing up because like I just wasn't like other girls. And then I had to go back and realize how fun those things were and then be sad that I didn't allow myself that joy because even as like a 12-year-old, I took myself too seriously. Although I will say I was correct about High School Musical. I don't think it was a very good movie and I didn't see the hype in it. High School Musical 2 is good and there are some good songs in the first and second movies, but like I didn't get the hype. I really didn't get it. And I think the plot of the first High School Musical sucks. Just point blank. High School Musical 2 is all right. Anywho, I immediately was like, oh, these are stupid. Labubu's are stupid. And then I had to call myself out. Like, Madison, you are a 27-year-old woman and you have multiple stuffed Hello Kitty animals on your bed right now. Who are you to be judging this Labubu stuff? And I was like, you're right. And I was also calling myself out and being like, since when have you not enjoyed little stuffed things with dumb faces? And I was like, oh, you're also right. So I was like, maybe I would just go on and like see what's up. Just see what's up. And if I don't like it, I'll just give it to someone. Well, then I got one. This little guy. And I was so shocked at how soft he was. And then I don't know. When I just held one in my hands, I was like, I get it. I actually get it. And I am so glad that I'm so glad that I called myself out because so much fun. And then I realized there are so many potentials for reading videos with these guys because there's so many pun options. And I also realized, oh, if I use them in a video, then I can write them off on my taxes. So this reading serves a lot of purposes today. To justify impulse purchases, to write those said purchases off on my taxes, to make shameless puns, and to have fun with you. So I hope you have fun today, even if you're not a fan of Labubus. I hope that you enjoy this anyway, and do not, well, I mean, I guess if you want more Labubu-based readings, I guess you'll just have to let me know, but be careful because I have been very good about not getting any more, and I don't need encouragement. Okay, that being said, let's talk about what we're going to be doing in this reading today. So, like I said, we are going to be looking at someone that has a crush on you presently or who will have a crush on you in the future. So we're going to start by looking at who this person is. So if you don't recognize who this person is, you probably will not know them. This is probably a future person, or this is someone in your periphery that you may not know very well. Take it as it resonates, but then we're going to look at how do they see you. And I would say that this is an effective question for you to really know whether the reading is for you or not. I mean, obviously people can like have different perceptions of us than we have of ourselves, but ideally, even if you wouldn't personally identify with how they see you, you can see why they would see you that way, or you can see where that perspective is coming from, and that'll kind of help validate, okay, yeah, this is the reading for me. And then we're going to look at what are their intentions towards you, or what will their intentions towards you be. And then after that, we're going to do tarot, and I'm basically just going to go into questions building off of your reading. Sorry, I'm burping. I'm burping. I'm sorry. I'll see myself out. Anywho, we are just going to ask random questions. So like depending on the energies, one thing I was thinking about looking at, like, are there any red flags you should know about? Like, what's the potential of this? Like, I don't know. We'll just see and we'll have fun. And then we're just going to finish off with a final guidance card for each of your groups. So I thought this would be really fun. I'm excited for this reading today. And I hope that even if you're not fond of them, maybe you're allowed to not be fond of them. I hope you still enjoy the reading. But we have 3 little Labubus to choose from today. And if you have a hard time picking based on the Labubu, pick based on the color. So for group number 1, we have this Serenity Labubu, and group number 1's color is green. And then for group number 2, we have this Sodie Pop Labubu. That is not what it's called, but that is what I am calling it. And Sodie Pop Labubu's color for group 2 is red. So red is the color to pick if you're picking based on, or I guess red is the color for group 2 if you pick based on color. And then finally for group number 3, we have this Sesame Labubu. That is the color that it is called. And if you are picking group number 3 based on color, I couldn't decide between gold and silver. So group 3's colors are gold and silver. I'm probably just going to put silver on the pile picker, but gold is included as well. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. It is absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one. Intro squad, as you can see, we don't have a candle today. That's because I didn't want to expose these guys to fire. Just felt like that might be reckless. And also my smoke alarm has been kind of iffy lately, so being careful. That being said, I still want to ask a question, and we are going to do a reading. We're going to do a little mini reading before we get into the main reading. And I want to ask you, what is a hot take that you have about anything? My hot take is actually about Labubus, in the sense that people keep saying that Labubus are basically the modern version of Beanie Babies. And I disagree with that. I do agree. Well, I guess I wasn't like very old. I was like very young when the Beanie Baby craze was happening. So I would imagine that it's similar to like the phenomenon around Beanie Babies at that time. Oh my gosh, one of my closest friends, I remember she got like a bunch of Beanie Babies and she was like, bro, this is an investment. Like she got the Princess Diana bear and everything. And like, I think she still has like all of it. So funny. Like, anywho, I don't think though that these are the new Beanie Babies. I think that these are the new Monchichis. And I feel like some of you are like, what are you talking about? Because like Monchichis are before my time. But for those of you that were around when Monchichis came out, my 80s babies, my 70s, 80s babies, wouldn't you agree? I don't know if there was the same like giant fad around Monchichis, but I know they had like their own show and stuff. And Monchichis look very similar to Labubus, and not in the face, but in terms of the structure. Like I literally think whoever made Labubus, like Monchichi was the blueprint. Like Monchichi walked so Labubu could run. And so yeah, that is the hill that I will die on. Labubus are not the new Beanie Babies. They are the new Monchichis. And I'm gonna put respect on Monchichi's name. Okay, that being said, intro squad, I'm gonna clear these cute little guys away and we're gonna do your little mini reading. If you're like, what's intro squad? It's everybody that sticks around for the intro. So if you wanna stick around for this mini reading, I'll see you there. Intro squad, since we're not making a wish, although feel free to make a wish, we are going to be using the Divine Circus Oracle and the Oracle of the Unicorns to just pull a little message for everyone that joins us. Feel free to leave a little circus-esque or unicorn emoji if you stick around for this. Let me know if it resonates. But we are going to start with a little unicorn message and see what everyone here needs to know. So what does my sweet, precious, beautiful, perfect baby intro squad angels, what do they need to know right now? What message is most? Okay. I kind of want to wait and then pull the circus message as well and pull them over at the same time. However, we're definitely reading from the book for the Divine Circus Oracle cards because, first of all, Anna Fairchild made it and she is an excellent writer, and also I don't know if I'll be able to interpret these cards intuitively. So for my sweet, precious angel baby intro squads, these peeps, what does Intro Squad need to know at this time? Okay. We have Dark Harlequin. So yeah, maybe some of you have been watching, like, I don't know, whatever Harley Quinn is in. She's in a lot of things. I don't know if that's like DC or, I think it's DC, right? I don't know. Oh, beautiful. And we have Friendship. Seek out your soul family. Surround yourself with positive people. Spend more time socializing. So starting with this Friendship card, I love this little squirrel over here. And I love that this came out for this reading too, because it is a reading that I almost considered not doing, because I was like, I don't know if I want to like get flack for using Labubus. And then I was like, that's such a weak aura energy. Like, who cares if I get flack? It's fun. And also, like, I'm not missing an opportunity to write things off on my taxes. It's really fun how far you can stretch that game. That being said, I feel like for you guys, like, first of all, if you're here, like, maybe friends. Well, we are friends because I literally said this video with hi friends, but you know what I mean. I definitely feel like if you're trying to manifest more friendships, or if you have been wanting to spend time with people that you care about, but like have been really busy or have been having a hard time justifying it, I feel like the universe is really giving you permission to go ahead and spend time with the people that you care about. Like, make time for that. I also feel like too, if you've been not avoiding, like maybe avoiding or maybe just like putting things off, like, oh, I'll get back to them, or oh, like I just need to like get my energy better, something like that. I feel like there's kind of a message here that you might be just underestimating how interacting with certain friends could just help restore your energy and restore like what you need in order to feel good. And you may just realize like your soul has just really been needing to be nourished by people that love and care about and understand you. And this I also see as a sign that there could be new friends coming into your life. Maybe potentially the person that is crushing on you in this reading. Or maybe multiple people if you're drawn to multiple groups. Maybe there's someone that is a friend right now and maybe they could be more, or maybe for some of you, the person that is crushing on you, you only see as a friend. And I feel like you need to give yourself permission to say like, oh, hey, I only see you as a friend. That could be a sign that this person would accept that and they care more about the friendship than like needing to explore further. But if they are upset about that and walk away because of that, then they're not a real friend. They're not a true friend. I definitely think though friendship is on the horizon, meeting new people or getting closer with certain people. I just heard the word mutual. So if you're feeling called to like reach out to someone or just try to strike up a friendship, go for it. You never know what could happen. But we're going to go ahead now and read Dark Harlequin and see what that says. Bells are ringing from deep inside. Something that once had to hide is seeking your attention. It wants out. It wants to be free. As you release what was once shut away, your discomfort shall turn to glee. Ooh, okay, so maybe you can meet some new friends by putting yourself out there more, or just like, or trying something new, or putting yourself in a new space. Never know. You are a spiritual adventurer. You're not afraid to go to the edge of what you know, of who you have believed yourself to be. Even before you, there lies the darkness of unknown worlds, of undiscovered parts of you. Even when you feel uncertainty, discomfort, or doubt, you are still willing, even if quaking in your boots, to figure out what it's all about. This fine and fierce attitude gives you a special kind of grace. You're also being blessed because I feel like I'm about to sneeze, and I always see like sneezing while I'm reading is like a blessing. I didn't sneeze though because I have intrusive thoughts where I ask myself if I've ever seen a white horse. Do that to someone who's sneezing. They'll stop sneezing. Just be like, have you ever seen a white horse? Yeah, it's really mean. I do it to myself. Anyway. This fine and fierce attitude gives you a special kind of grace, the grace to discover that you are a living, wild, divinely free, and empowered force to be reckoned with in this world. That discovery sets you free from fear and unleashes you upon a path of loving, wild creation and joyful abandon. So you have come to a place in you and in your life where you don't know. You don't know what's happening. You don't know how to work through it. You don't know who you are. Well, not all of who you are. You don't know what you don't know. You are at the point of not knowing because you are growing. There will be surprises. There will be discoveries. You will feel awkward at times, like you are trying to see in the dark. You'll wonder if you are supposed to be so confused, if you are supposed to feel like you aren't sure who you are anymore, or even if the things that once made sense in your life are supposed to seem so fragile, as though life, once thought rock solid, actually turns out to be a house of cards. The answer is, of course, yes. Yes, it's a royally divine mess. Don't be afraid to let there be some inner rattling and rampaging. The Dark Harlequin card comes to you at a time when you are naturally diving into the darkness for a healing purpose. So ask the difficult questions. Do the things you wouldn't normally do. Experiment with thinking in ways you wouldn't normally think. Be willing to let everything change for the better by first letting go of how things are now. The messier your inner world seems to be right now, the more you can expect complete and utter transformation as a new order comes into form. Expect the unexpected, for you were born to grow into what is happening now. It's time to let the wild thing within out. So there's a little healing trick and an affirmation if you want to practice those and screenshot that. Feel free to do so. I was just thinking too, I think I have a book. I haven't read it yet, but I'll show you it really quickly. That it really, the last sentence of this really made me think of it. So this might be a book you want to look into, but it's literally right here, and it's called Courting the Wild Twin. And let's get the synopsis. I won't. Let's crouch by the fire in the old way that's forever new. Somebody wants to talk to you. In Courting the Wild Twin, acclaimed scholar and mythologist Martin Shaw unravels two ancient European fairy tales concerning the mysterious wild twin located deep inside all of us. Shaw summons us to the ragged edge of the dark wood to seek out this estranged, exiled self, the part we generally shun or ignore to conform to societal norms, and invite it back into our consciousness. Courting the Wild Twin is a book of literary activism, an antidote to the shallow thinking that typifies our age. It challenges us to wake up, revive our condition of wondering, and examine our broken relationship with the world. We need to think boldly, wildly, and in new ways about ourselves as individuals and as a collective to confront modern challenges with purpose, courage, and creativity. After all, stories are our secret weapons, and they might just save us. So I think maybe I gotta get on this book because it's looking very interesting. But I hope that that is helpful for you. But Intro Squad, I'm gonna leave things here. Definitely let me know how that resonates. I definitely feel like tapping into those wild parts of yourself will definitely, number one, help you be a better friend to yourself and get closer to people around you, and or bring about new sorts of friendships, or give you the motivation to reconnect to certain friendships if you've lost touch maybe, or just haven't talked in a while. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into the actual readings now. So thank you guys so much for being here and for letting me read for you. I love you guys, and I will see you in your reading. Hi there, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the color green and the Serenity La Boo Boo, this is going to be, Serenity. This is going to be your reading on who has a crush on you. This is either someone who presently does or someone who will have a crush on you in the future. So we're going to start by looking at who this person is. And if you don't know who they are, that could be a good sign that this is someone in your future or someone that you have yet to or yet to have on your radar yet. But we're going to use these cards and Astro Dice to get an idea on who this is. So to start, we have the King of Swords and the Snake. I just heard in my head, my brain is so cursed. Oh, it's a little slithery snake, a snake. Okay, what else can you tell us about this person crushing on group number 1, please? Okay, we have Mercury. What else can you tell us, please? We have Taurus. And one more. Okay. And the second house. Okay, so this is definitely someone with a lot of air and earth energy. I will call out signs, but I do need to stress that this person could have none of these signs in their big 3 or even at all. They could embody these energies in different ways, but we do have Mercury energy, and Mercury rules the signs of Gemini and Virgo. We also have Taurus energy and the second house, which the second house correlates with Taurus as well. We have Earth energy, so we've already mentioned Taurus and Virgo, so we would also add Capricorn to that. And with air signs, I've already mentioned Gemini, but there's also Aquarius and Libra. So this is definitely someone who is very serious, takes themselves very seriously, and the immediate vibe that I got from this person is like, if they are in your life right now, I feel like you would kind of be in denial about them having a crush on you, because they might avoid you or be very blunt with you, or be very like almost cold with you. I definitely think that they actually make a concerted effort, if they're already in your world, to pretend like they don't care about you, pretend like they, which I'm not saying that's mature or right, but it does seem like they are a bit avoidant of doing anything that might indicate the slightest bit of interest in you, because I don't think that they're someone that has crushes very often. They might not really know what to do with them. This is definitely someone who is very intelligent. They could be charismatic, but on the other hand, they could also be someone who isn't very talkative. Like, I feel like for some of you, this is somebody who is able to strike up a conversation with anyone and is still very like, they're not the joker of the group, but they are charming. They just have a bit of a serious air about them. I feel like they would save silliness for close confidants. But for others of you, this person, they could be very eloquent and well-spoken, but they don't go out of their way to talk to people. Like, they could be more reserved and keep to themselves, but when they do need to be, like, when they do have the spotlight on them, or they do need to step up, they can be very good with their words. I would not be shocked if this is someone that you would meet through work, or just someone that is working all the time or very serious about their work. They would likely have, like, they're definitely very ambitious and a bit of a workaholic. And I would also say that they are very focused on money and assets. Like, the fact that we have the second house here and Taurus, they certainly really care about having material wealth and being comfortable materially. I also think they care a lot about their material future. And I think that they are a very practical and responsible person. For some of you, this person has a very regimented schedule. For others of you, this person has a more chaotic process, but it works for them, and they have it all under control. But one thing about this person that a lot of people don't see is that there's a lot more to them than meets the eye. And I actually wonder if for you, you recognize this, and that could be something that messes them up a little bit, or kind of like makes them nervous around you, or makes them aware of the fact that you see more of them than most people do. The snake in this, at least in this card, talks about untapped potential, talks about prosperity, creativity, and expansion. And I definitely think when it comes to this person, they don't get to be creative very often, but they have this really rich inner world that doesn't come out. And I actually think they use their routine and their responsibilities as a way to kind of avoid their inner world. I do think that this person actually has the capacity to feel very deeply. That's why they live in their head a lot, because they could feel like there's actually risks involved in opening their heart up to anyone. But I definitely think they're very grounded. They could oscillate at times between being like, I am the greatest human alive, and I am literally nothing. But I do think in general, like, they're not too full of themselves. They're not too over the top. And I will also say about this person is that it might take them some time sometimes, but if they are wrong, they are not above saying that they're sorry. I also think that they have a hard time seeing their own strengths, or seeing the value in certain experiences in life that aren't related to making money or related to productivity, which makes a lot of sense for this energy. Even though they enjoy certain things, like they might have a particular creative outlet, or they might have things that you like, have interests or hobbies that you just wouldn't expect this person to have. Like maybe they really love anime and they don't seem like that type of person, or maybe they like play an instrument or something and they don't really share that very often. I definitely think as well, this is someone who is very much they like the finer things in life. They also like comfort. Like this is someone who cares about the thread count of their sheets. This is someone who cares about eating good food. This is someone who cares about having like, I would not be shocked if they either have a nice car or a car that is more pragmatic, but they spend extra money to make it like the nicest model or something like that. Like this person does give, like they would drive a Toyota, but they would like get the best or like get the most bells and whistles with it, you know what I mean? Because I will say, if you are wondering, Toyotas are like one of the most reliable cars, at least they have been. And as someone who has driven them, I drive a Jeep now, and honestly I miss my Toyota. I can't wait to drive a Toyota again. I really like them personally. Anything else before I go into how they see you? I could definitely just would say that they are somebody who can get very deep and lost in thought, but they're also someone who tries to be fair to other people. I definitely think the only person they're truly unfair to is themselves, and they don't intentionally try to be unfair to anyone else, but they also are not going to be someone like this is not a people pleaser. Like maybe they were in the past, but this person has learned their lessons. Like they don't make concessions for other people. Like their routine, their schedule, what's important to them comes first. And the fact that we do have the Serenity Lulu, like I do think that they protect their peace, and I do think that they prioritize peaceful connections. Like if someone is bringing a lot of drama into their life, like they're just not even going to waste their time. Like this is somebody who will not explain themselves. Like they will just, go silent and just move forward. They have this very dignified way of acting about them. And I will say too that a lot of their energy goes into the physical world around them, and I do think that's partially to overcompensate for insecurities that they may have within themselves still, that they don't even realize that they truly have. Because I don't feel like this person is super insecure, but there might be lingering feelings of just not being good enough that still kind of haunt them a little bit. I also think that their communication style is very different depending on who they're talking to. More often than not, though, I do feel like they are less they're like the opposite of me. So like they're less of a yapper, but I do think that they can get into really interesting conversations with people that actually spark their interest. But they are a really good listener. So like they will not dominate conversations. It's like they share when they have something to say, but they're not going to overpower a conversation or anything like that. I also think too that they can really get stuck in their head in a way where they almost convince themselves that certain parts of them don't exist, and it kind of takes them getting out of their habits, which can take a lot of time for them to see differently. They can be very stubborn, and they can be very convinced that their way is the right way. And I can't say that that's necessarily wrong, because like they do seem to live a pretty balanced life. I also think this person has experiences where like they've been villainized or demonized by emotionally unstable people. And that has been something that's been deeply painful to them, because I think they very much cared about these people. But the emotional instability, like the damage, like the damage caused from those people, like made them very much like, I'm not leaving room for energies like that in my life. I'm not leaving room for people like that in my life. I feel like some people around them have taken for granted the fact that they don't reveal a lot of emotion. And so they don't realize that like they can be cut very deep when someone is being like volatile or saying really mean things to them. Words definitely matter. Like I definitely think that this person, they pay attention to words, and like this is the type of person who might say out loud like, oh, they're just words, they can't hurt me, but like yeah, they do. And like even the smallest bit of criticism can like linger in their head for a long time, because they are kind of a perfectionist and do hold themselves to a really high standard. But they also so like when it's something particularly brutal, it cuts really deep when someone says something like that. And the thing is too, is that they might have had people in their past that said things to them that were really harsh and that like were directly based on insecurities that maybe they shared or felt that they had. And so the pain of that probably cut really deep. And I feel like they don't really, this is someone who, although they feel deeply, they don't necessarily share everything that they feel. Their emotions are a more insular experience. And I think that picking up on how they're feeling emotionally is more challenging because they're not just going to like share that willingly with anyone. But there are small tells in their actions and behaviors. Like, for example, like the fact that they have a crush on you, the fact that they might avoid you or like be very cold or very matter of fact with you, which I will say, like if this crush is inappropriate, I would say that explains why it is, but I would hope for the vast majority of you it's not. It might just be a circumstance where they don't want to get rejected, or you know, maybe it's like, oh man, you know, we both got to work here or something like that, or you know, maybe if you guys are in proximity to each other, like they might just be afraid to be rejected by you. There are like they could have this tendency to get so invested in an idea in their head they get afraid to like make it real when it's not just like a dream that they have control over, because like what if they lose it, what if they try to make it real and then they get rejected, then what? Like that's very scary to them. So because then they don't have a fantasy anymore, if that makes sense. So, and I definitely think that they fantasize most late at night or when they've had a little bit of a substance to kind of like get them in the mood. But they're definitely someone who's very like responsible with that stuff. Like they're not reckless. Like this person is the antithesis of reckless. And they could have been very reckless in the past, but they've learned from their mistakes. And that's a big thing with this person, is that they learn from their mistakes. Even if it takes time, they learn from them. And they are not above admitting when they're wrong and admitting when they need to change or when they need to grow. That being said, let's see how they see you. So to start, we have the Four of Pentacles. We also have Nanny Fly. And let's see what else. So how does the person crushing on group one, how do they see group one? Okay, so we have Cancer energy. We have, okay, it was on Pluto and then it moved to Neptune, but I'm going to leave it on Pluto. And we have another 4, so 4th house, which is more Cancerian energy. I feel like they see you as very sweet and very sassy and also very stubborn. I will say, I'm just gonna throw this out there. For some of you, this could be someone from your past. However, first of all, you might be like, well, how could it be a past person? This is about present or future. There's nothing that says that a person from your past can't have a crush on you in the present, okay? So that. And number 2, if this person is from your past and they're coming through in this reading, they are different from their past self. They are definitely more like they've grown. But I feel like for a lot of you, it isn't a past person. I feel like it's just maybe they remind you of someone from your past, but even if they reminded you of someone from your past, this person is a more stable, responsible, and evolved version of them. Now, in terms of how they see you, I definitely feel like they see you as being in terms of your finances, like in a financially stable place. And I feel like they see you as a stable person in general. And that's definitely a green flag for them. Like, I feel like they see you as someone where it's not like always with you, what you see is what you get, but at the very least, they kind of know what to expect from you. They do feel like you kind of hold back, and they feel like, you're hard to read from their perspective. They also feel like, you know, they really enjoy when they get to see your personality shine. I feel like that's part of what this Nanny Fly card is talking about, because like, I do think you are oh my gosh, I'm hearing that One Direction song, like, you don't know you're beautiful, like, the most cliche song ever. But I do think that is actually very poignant, because I do feel like you are very humble and they see that about you, but they also see that, like, the most attractive parts of you to them are the parts of you, like, when you are just being yourself and not trying to hide yourself or not feeling insecure. Like, they love when you're sassy. They love when you're when you do sweet things. Also, if you eat like salads or a lot of vegetables, that's something that they just like remember about you. They might even remember like your order, or if you're a plant person, like if you have plants that you decorate like your office or your space with, or like your house with, I feel like they like that you're a plant person. I would say they also see you as well. I mean, we have four times. So 4 to me is a number of stability. And also it could be the number of Aries. So they could see you as very independent, very stable. Like you have a good head on your shoulders and you have a strong foundation. I would also see that though as like, I do feel like you do kind of hold back. And the fact that we have Cancer energy here twice, they could feel like it's rarer for them to see the more vulnerable parts of you, the more silly parts of you, the more emotional parts of you, because I do feel like you, like them, have a bit of a shell. But I also think if you dress very colorfully or there's like a whimsical aspect to you, they really enjoy that. And one thing I'm kind of noticing as well is that they see you as, even though you guys are very different. And I feel like that's like one thing that they're stressing to me is like, you and them are very different, but you're kind of kindred spirits. Like I'm kind of thinking about the fact that they're showing up as a snake and you're showing up as a goat, which I do think, first of all, they kind of see you as the goat. Like maybe if you guys work in a similar environment, or if they know what you do for work, they could just see like what you do for work is like, wow, you know, that takes like a really strong person, or, you know, maybe you have the most sales, or maybe you're just doing really well in your job, or you're just really highly regarded in the workplace. I feel like that's something that they pay attention to. I feel like they respect you for sure. And I think they like when you're playful with them. When you give them any sort of attention, they really enjoy that. But what I was going to say that I got sidetracked from is that part of the reason why they feel like you guys are kindred spirits is because I think that they feel like you also have been misunderstood or demonized or treated in ways where like people didn't give you the benefit of the doubt, or people almost judged you for the wrong reasons. Like I'm thinking about, you know, like in the original like biblical Adam and Eve story, you know, the snake is kind of representative of the devil, and in the Devil Tarot card and in a lot of symbolism, the devil is represented by a goat. So I feel like they kind of see that, you know, both of you guys are misunderstood, and both of you guys are also, you know, maybe very focused on material wealth. I think they're more focused on that than you are, but I think that they maybe kind of project that mentality onto you a little bit. They also see you as very family oriented and very intense. Like, and I think that you do a good job of tempering that intensity. Like one thing that they note about you is that yes, you're intense, but you're also stable. So it's not like an intensity that is like, oh, I need like a 20, well, the word that came through was I need a restraining order. They don't need a restraining order against you. But, you know, intensity with instability, I feel like they are like almost to the extreme. Like I'm staying away from that. But with you, like they kind of note that, wow, you've got that depth and that intensity, but at the same time, you are very stable and you are very caring. Like the fact that we do have this Cancer energy, like you are very nurturing and very sweet, but at the same time, like a crab, like you can pinch. So I feel like they feel like you have a good balance of like sweetness and spiciness, and maybe they've seen you transform. If they've known you for a long time, they could just feel like you are like you've evolved a lot, and they've really liked what they've seen. But also, I feel like with this Pluto energy being here as well, I feel like they just see you as someone that they can't explain why, but they have kind of an intense, like it feels intense to be around you. And I also don't want to ignore the fact that 4 is the 4th house is kind of home. So they could feel this feeling of home with you. Like they feel comfortable around you and they feel like calm or serene around you, which is really sweet. So let's go ahead and see what their intentions are towards you, at least right now, or at least in the beginning of this crush. So for that, we have the 2 of Cups and we have heartbreak. Okay. We'll add to that, but I want to shuffle. I want to roll the dice first. What are the person crushing on group 1, what are their intentions towards group 1 at this time or in the future when they have this crush? Okay, so we have Gemini. We have the 2nd house again. And we have the moon. So yeah, I definitely think that they really want to get to know you better. The fact that we have the 2 of Cups here, I feel like they do see you as someone that they could have a significant relationship with. And the fact that we have the heartbreak card here, for me, that is like, yeah, I'm willing to maybe potentially get my heart broken. Like, I'm kind of down for that. I feel like that's them, like, thinking about it. Like, they could literally be weighing, like, the pros and the cons of, like, should I, you know, should I put myself out there? And I feel like they've kind of determined, like, yeah, I'd be open to getting my heart broken by them. I definitely think if there is something that, a hobby that you guys share or something you both are really interested in, like a hyperfixation or a special interest, that is something that really made them feel like, wow, okay, I could really spend more time with group number 2. Like they want to get to know you better and they want to talk to you about everything. Like the fact that we have Gemini energy here, they feel like you guys have this really interesting wavelength where you almost seem to say things before they do, or you talk about things that they're really interested in, and they love that you guys can talk about like tons of different things, or they want to talk to you about tons of different things and like see what your thoughts are on them. And I'm actually thinking of something too. I have this with my little brother. So it's different. But my little brother and I have like food telepathy. I don't know how to explain it, but like I will be thinking about milkshakes and then he'll be like, do you want to go get milkshakes? I'll be like, yes, I want to go get milkshakes. Like, fuck, I'm so glad you're my brother. Like there's so many times where like I'll bring up something, like I'll bring up a food or something, and then he'll be like, yeah, I was literally just thinking about that. So you guys could have it might not be centered around food, but you guys could have a similar experience where like one of you is thinking about something and then the other one just brings it up and you're just like, oh my god, like that's crazy. I will say though, for the select few of you where this would be a past person, I do feel like they kind of want to heal whatever happened. I feel like they've learned and they've grown. And like, that's a thing. If someone from your past comes in and they're on the same old BS that they've always been on, run in the opposite direction. They would be different. They would be changed. But I really don't feel like for a lot of you, this is past energy. Like, even if it resonates with someone from your past, I feel like it's just similarities, if I'm being honest. Because I feel like this person, the fact that we have the 2nd house again, like, I feel like they definitely want to really get to know you. I feel like they also they see your value and like they feel like you are someone who is worthy of sharing their heart with. And I keep hearing that Demi Lovato song, like Give Your Heart a Break, and I think that that is really fitting because I think that they like a lot of the lyrics are literally about like, I know you've been hurt, but like I want to, like, give me a chance, like your heart will be safe with me. And I think the thing is like they feel that way about you and they hope you feel that way about them. Like maybe both of you have concerns about opening up to romance in certain ways, or they don't know, or they just don't know if you're even interested in them in that way. So they kind of have this perspective of like, oh, well, I really want to see if they feel the same type of connection I do and they see my value. But I also don't know if they do, and I don't, like, I feel like they're willing to kind of explore and see if there's something more here. and their kind of intentions are, okay, is there something more, or am I gonna get my heart broken? And I feel like they're kind of okay with figuring that out. And the fact that we have the moon here, I do feel like they want to explore their emotions around you. And like, that's the thing too, is I feel like you stimulate a lot of awareness around untapped parts of themselves. So like, they're more creative parts of themselves, they're more gentle, soft parts of themselves, the more playful parts of them they don't really get to tap into very much. I feel like they want to experience that and explore that more with you. I feel like they also, their intentions too, like they want to spend time alone with you. I don't really feel like they're interested in group sort of things. Like they kind of enjoy just like, or they want to like be in an environment where no one else is around and they can just really get to know you, really dive deep into your lives and talk about everything. Like they really don't want other people around or interfering. Or so maybe if you most often see each other in an environment where there's a lot of people around, that could be part of why they're so withdrawn, that would be because like they don't want other people to start talking, like, you know, office gossip spreads like wildfire, right? But also, I guess I am seeing this, so I will say it. This person could be in another relationship that, and I'm being so cautious with this because I'm not saying that this is the case. And also, I would really hope that if they are in another commitment, you wouldn't be exploring that or open to that. I'm not saying that you would. I'm just saying I hope you wouldn't. But I think that this person would consider making changes in order to open up to this. But I feel very uncomfortable even talking about that and approaching that. So I'm not touching that. That's between y'all and God. But I see that potential being there for some of you. But if you're doing anything that's not kosher, you better not go to a Coldplay concert. That's what I will say there. But I guess let's go ahead and get into your tarot now. So while I'm shuffling, I just want to thank you guys for being here. And if you are enjoying this reading, leaving a like is super, super helpful. Letting the ads play for the first 30 seconds is really helpful. So thank you to everyone who does that. But in general, thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me read for you. And I feel like immediately we need to start by asking, what's holding them back? So what is holding the person crushing on group number 1 back from making a move at this time? The 3, okay, so I definitely think career is involved here. It's possible that there's someone else involved, like, and I actually don't think that this, so I'm relieved to see that this is a 3 of Pentacles and not like a 3 of Cups or a 3 of Wands situation, or a 3 of Swords. Of the 3s to get Pentacles, I am happy with. There could be someone that's like a mutual friend or like someone that works with you guys that could have a huge crush on them. Or they could also have a crush on you, and this person could be holding back from doing something about that because they don't want to hurt that person's feelings. Like they don't want to create chaos there, especially if that chaos would come at the expense of productivity. But also it's possible too that they're what's holding them back. If you guys don't work together, I do think that what could be holding them back is their work. They may just not have enough time and energy to dedicate to a relationship at this time. And so it's kind of like in the back of their mind, like something that they want to pursue, but it's almost like maybe they need to get to the 4 of Pentacles like you are. They may feel like you have more time and energy for that than they do. I also think though, if you guys are in a workplace where it would be unethical, or it would be something where like once you make it official, then, you know, you got to talk to HR, like things like that, you know, that could be something that's holding them back. I also think too, you know, maybe you guys work really well together, especially if you guys are on a team, or maybe if you do work together, I do think that part of what could be holding them back is like they don't want to make work awkward. They don't want to have to show up to their job every day and be embarrassed that they had emotions and that those emotions weren't reciprocated, if that would be the case. On the other hand, I do feel like if you guys don't work together, I feel like part of their fear is how pursuing this further could distract them from work or could like affect their work. Because like I said, they do take it very seriously. But I also think too, they could also just be like biding their time and seeing like, oh, okay, does group number one like actually see me as more than a friend, or are they just like, we're strictly friends? I want to ask now, what action are you being guided to take? Okay, let's just ask this. If you took some sort of action, what would be the most effective course of action for you that would be aligned with your highest good, and that would lead to the highest good for the both of you in general? So what action, if group number one were to take any, would be the most aligned action to take towards group number, their crush? Okay, I really feel like the best action that you can take is to pay attention to opportunities to be gentle with them. You know, if there's like, if there are opportunities to be alone with them, or if you have opportunities to say something that's on your mind, like if you can tell like it seems like something's bothering them, or if they're going through a really hard time, or if you find out about something that they're going through, I think one of the best things that you could actually do is just say, hey, like, I don't want to pry or like intrude, but it kind of seems like you've been going through something, and like I just want, like, offering your presence, offering a listening ear. They probably wouldn't want to talk about it. So maybe too, this person has gone through something really really awful recently, really heartbreaking recently, that has led them to really put their all into work and into their mental body because it's too painful to be in their emotional body. So I think maybe just like number one, being patient with them, being receptive, and also giving them opportunities to share emotionally or to be themselves, I think would be really powerful. But also too, I feel like this person hates pity, and they hate like people feeling bad for them or like thinking that they are weak. And I don't think that you think they're weak, but they might be afraid of how, they might be afraid of people thinking that they're weak if they show emotion. So like, I think one thing that you could do is just, when the opportunity arises, like, to just speak from your heart when you feel like it, like, hey, like, I hope you're doing all right, or like, hey, I'm here for you. And you know what, I feel like a lot of those phrases can be very, like, they can seem like platitudes. So maybe even making it very clear, like, I know people say that, but like, seriously, like, I'm here for you if you just want to go for a walk or just want to hang out or get your mind off of things. Like, that might be helpful. But I also think too, another suggestion that I'm seeing is like, okay, maybe they're not going through some sort of like heartbreak, but maybe there's just a lot of disappointment in your interactions where things are left unsaid, and like, you wish that you would have said certain things, or like, you have opportunities to maybe share more sweetness, and then you like are sassy instead, or you hold back out of nerves. Maybe just like showing gentleness and care for them when you have the opportunity to, and it feels authentic, and it feels like a good moment to do that. I feel like that could be something very positive. Like, it could just kind of show them that, you know, the feelings run both ways if they do. I feel like there's opportunity to transform what could be a frustrating and disappointing situation where it's like there's lots of missed opportunities, into just you having the courage to take those opportunities when they come, and just be open to, hey, you know, I'm here if you need it, or just to show care and gentleness and emotional connectivity. That could be pretty impactful. Okay. Let's see what you need to know about the situation in general. So, Spirit, what would you like group number one to know about this situation? What do they need to know about it for their highest good? Ooh, okay. So it definitely seems like this could be a very significant connection, should you allow it to be. Like, I feel like they feel it too. I feel like, you know, this is really straightforward, but you know, the Lovers is also about choices. And I do think that you might really focus on their behavior. Like, you guys are kind of in a standoff right now where I feel like both of you are kind of like the Spider-Man meme, where you know that Spider-Man meme where like the Spider-Mans are pointing at each other? I feel like you both might be kind of standoffish or like avoidant of the other, and you both are using that as evidence as to why the other isn't interested or why you shouldn't put yourself out there, because it's like scary to be rejected. And I think it's gonna take one of you being willing to maybe open up a little bit more, to like open that door. But I do think that like this is a sign that you're not wrong, that there is real potential there. And I do think that like both of you want to explore this. I mean, your crush's intentions, like they want to explore a deeper connection with you, explore some sort of partnership with you. And I think if they can't do that already, it's because they're just getting their material world in order to be there. So let me just ask, like, I'm trying to decide between how you'll know this reading is for you, but I'm like, if it's resonating and it's resonated so far, like that's how you should know this reading is for you. So I guess let's ask this. What is next for the two of you, or what is the next opportunity for the two of you to connect? So what is next for group one, the person crushing on group one and group one? Or what's the next opportunity for these two to kind of connect more deeply? Okay, can we clarify the Nine of Wands? So I actually think that for the near future, there might not be a whole lot of opportunities. It might be that like there's almost resistance here, or there might just like life might be chaotic. But I actually think the thing that could be an opportunity is if you both are like really struggling with work. Like if you guys work together, I think maybe staying late one night or having like a project that you have to work really hard on, when you guys take a break to eat, or you know, walking to your cars even, or you know, something like that. Like there might just be the opportunity to create some more solid communication. I think like the biggest thing that's being created here in terms of what's next is the opportunity to create new pathways of communication and new habits and new forms of like how you connect with each other that are less resistant. Like I feel like both of you do have your walls up, and both of you are kind of like, oh, what's gonna happen here? So I do think that you have opportunities in the near future to change how things have been going by just choosing to act differently. And I think a lot of what you need to do in terms of acting differently is just being willing to do what your heart is telling you to do. So whether that's being like, hey, do you want to like get dinner after this, or like, or just even being like, hey, thanks for helping me with this, or something like that. Like just being more like, even if it's just for you like the most scary thing in the world, even just saying like, hey, I appreciate you, or like, you know, thanks for hanging out with me, or whatever. Like that's actually going to be really substantial. I think what's next in general though is like you guys will be testing the threshold between where your walls are and where you're willing to see what happens when you go outside of them. But I also think there's going to be opportunity to kind of start studying each other as a result, and seeing like how things shift when you're willing to choose differently, like when you're willing to do the thing that kind of scares you instead of the thing that feels safe. That might be very powerful. Also, there could be opportunities in terms of like exercising together, or one of you might be like sick in the near future, and the other could have the opportunity to like show up with you know, soup, or like maybe if you have to show up to work sick, then the other might show up with like meds or something that is just like sweet. I don't know, that's just helpful. Or you know, if they know you're sick or you know they're sick, there might be an opportunity to just kind of show that you care by like checking in or sending over food or, you know, something sweet like that. But we're going to go ahead and finish your reading off by getting a romance guidance message from this deck. So for group number 1, please, universe, what guidance do you have for group number 1 when it comes to this connection that group number 1 has or will have with this person crushing on them moving forward? What guidance do you have? Oh, I'm also getting a message as well, like with this Knight of Wands, like what's kind of next is the opportunity as well. I know I've already said this, but to push through walls that already exist, but also if it's harder to see one another or there's like more time where the circumstances make it so that like life is lifing really hard, you guys might have the excuse to like take a break together or use that opportunity to like text more or call the other or like just do something that's maybe out of the realm of normalcy for the two of you, that actually establishes something more solid or a new way of connecting that maybe both of you didn't think before. Like, oh, I didn't think about like just calling them. Like, yeah, maybe I haven't seen them in a while, but you know, you just might be surprised at what small gestures could lead to a lot of room for growth and a lot of opportunities for connection that felt nearly impossible before. The Spirit, what guidance do you want to finish off with for group 1 when it comes to this connection? What do they need to know at this time? Okay, and that took a while to come out. So I do think that this situation does require patience. And I do think as well, like, there might be experiences where you do open yourself up more and this person isn't ready. And that might make you feel like, oh, I'm stupid. I shouldn't have listened to myself. And don't underestimate the value of that, because I feel like that is getting this person to open up to the realization of like, oh, maybe there is more, or maybe they do care. It might just take some time. Time to go. Yeah. I definitely think it's time to go from where you guys have been. But I also think too, I know the guidance in the book is going to say like, you need to walk away from this. And I guess if you do need to walk away from this, feel free to. But I also think that this is partially Spirit saying like, if you want to change things, you can. Or if you do feel hopeless in this situation, you can walk away. It's over, or at the very least, the form this relationship has taken is no longer in service to you or the other person. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. This is a time of letting go, of knowing that the journey has come to its conclusion. That doesn't mean anything is lost. Although this card could speak of a breakup, drifting apart, or the end of a soul contract, it is more about release than destruction. Remember the saying, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. If not, it never was. Endings are always a sign of new beginnings. If you want something deeper, walk away. So that is definitely, because like, I would not say like after this just very positive and solid message that like, yeah, you should just like walk away. I do think it's time to walk away, though, from the dynamic that you guys have, because I think it's very much you're playing it safe. You're doing what feels secure. And I feel like that is just insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And I definitely think that you both are incredibly stubborn and can pretend for a lot. Like, this could be a situation where you guys never act on your feelings, even though you think about one another all the time, because both of you convinced yourselves that the other wasn't interested or were too afraid to try. So I definitely feel like the universe is really saying, like, if you want to open up to this more, like, instead of suppressing all instincts to be softer or to be more caring or to be more emotionally open, try and see what happens. And instead of being attached to the outcome, recognize the value in just sharing and see how things unfold and go from there. So group 1, what a juicy reading. I was like not expecting this like depth and richness. But But of course, I was not expecting to love Labubus as much as I did. So, you know, life's full of surprises. That is where I'm going to leave your reading. So thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you so much for letting my ads play for the first 30 seconds. That is the simplest and easiest way to show support and appreciation for my channel and help me like pay my mortgage and stuff. If you'd like to support me in other ways, liking this video, commenting down below, letting me know how it resonates, subscribing if you haven't already, and being sure to click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. That's very helpful. You can check out my merch, you can check out my social media, you can check out my other videos with extended, so you can check out my candles, you can tip me, my Cashapp is palehag, or my PayPal is my email, but I will say Cashapp is preferred, not because, I just feel bad that I can't respond on PayPal, so, but I can like send you a little emoji on Cashapp, so yeah. You can also just send me love and kindness because I'm sending you some right back. But that's all I have for you guys. I really hope this resonated. Thank you guys so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Sodie Pop Labubu, this is going to be your reading on who currently has a crush on you, or who will have a crush on you in the future if you have not met them yet. So we are going to start by looking at who this person is, full breakdown of the reading in the intro. So to start, in terms of who this person that has or will have a crush on you is, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the Oyster. Then I'm going to shuffle these dice. Who has or will have a crush on group 1? Okay, yeah, we have the 10th house. What else? We have Moon and Scorpio. Okay, so this person has a lot of earth and water energy. They don't have to have those placements, but they certainly embody these things. What I will say straight, like right off the bat, this is someone who is not from your past. This is a new person or someone that is very different from who you've dated before. And I will say extra confirmation if who you've dated in the past has been unstable, unreliable, lied, been in general what TLC would call a scrub. This is somebody who is independent, stable, reliable. They are also, though, very humble and very patient. Like, patience is actually something that's kind of a powerful quality in them. Like, they are very patient with people and they will put up with a lot. They could even have like some particularly challenging family members or something like that, and they are just very understanding and willing to work with people. They definitely are very, they're definitely on the shyer side. But I think that they supplement that, or they use their material resources as a way to kind of make up for social shyness that they might have. And this person might actually be known for what they do for work. Like the fact that we have the 10th house here, they could be well known, or their family could be well known, like especially with Scorpio and the 10th house here. Like let's just talk about the fact that we have the Sodie Labubu, and like as a Midwesterner myself, you know, love my Sodie Pop. And so this person could come from like a small town where there's like a family business, or where their family has done the same thing for generations and they're the one carrying it, or they've come to a small town, or they live in a small town where, you know, their business really thrives. They don't have to do something like that, but I do feel like at the very least, this is someone that will make powerful moves in their career if they haven't already. I will say, I feel like this person, if they are well on their way to being a homeowner, if they're not already, I have a feeling though, like this is somebody who will have a home. So we love that, especially in this economy. I also think though that they are someone who is very sensitive and they feel very deeply, but they have a hard time really sharing that and opening up. They could have certain artistic gifts, or they could just be like, there's just so much to them. Like, they're a very deep person and they think very deeply. They're very contemplative. This is somebody also who loves nature. Like, I just really see this person being like a farmer or working with their hands or doing something that like requires like a lot of patience and a lot of skill, a lot of budgeting. And even if they're not doing something like that, I do think at the very least they are prosperous, or their work ethic will lead them there. I definitely think as well they are somebody who they're very humble in their speech. They don't like, this person is like the antithesis of the podcast bro. Like, they are very gentle. I literally just heard gentle giant. So like they could be just a very gentle, very like, they could be like a very big or very tall person, or they could have like really rough hands, like callousy hands, because they could work with their hands. But also I think too that they're just somebody who puts their head down, is not afraid of hard work, and was also raised with very strong values. They could be religious, but I don't feel like their religion is something, I feel like they have qualms about the religion they were raised in. Like, there are certain things they don't agree with, but however, I do think they still have allegiance to the name of that religion. I feel like there is a part of them that is afraid to kind of step away from that, and there could be part of them as well that just practices it more from a place of like connecting to their roots and their tradition over believing in every single aspect of it. I do think that, I feel like this is somebody who forges their own spiritual / religious connection on their own terms, and they kind of see it as something that's evolving. They may not share that with the family around them, definitely depending on how traditional those family members are. But they kind of they've made their peace with things. And I think that this is definitely someone who knows how to make things work for them in situations that are outside of their control. So like, for example, you know, a situation where maybe the religion they were raised in isn't the one that they would necessarily choose, but they do have a fondness to like the rituals around it, or they do appreciate their ability to connect with family around it. So they, you know, say that they are this religion, but realistically, maybe they're a more just spiritual type person that engages in the ritual practices of that religion still, and as a way to like uphold that. I also think as well, this is someone who has a hard time really speaking up about things. Like, this person doesn't really stand up for themselves, and I feel like that's because it's not necessarily because they're like afraid of conflict. They could be, but I think it's more so they just don't see it as worth it. Like, I feel like for some of you, this person grew up in a household where there was some emotionally volatile people in their life, and they kind of learned how to be more of a rock and how to be, they don't get caught up in drama. Like, this person does not like drama. They'll watch like reality TV and stuff with you, but like they're all about protecting their own peace, and they're also all about like, they're usually too focused on their interests. Like, they could like woodworking, or I do feel like they have some sort of creative interest that involves their hands. So like, maybe they like baking or cooking or gardening. Like, this is definitely someone who is earthy and very hardworking. Also too, they can be hard to read as well. People might actually find this person intimidating and not realize that they're actually just like a massive teddy bear. In terms of signs, we do have Scorpio, we have Cancer, and the oyster is water energy, so we could also add Pisces to that. And we also have earth energies, which Capricorn is showing up in the 10th house, and Taurus and Virgo as well. They don't have to have those placements, though they could be there. I do think that this person has an intensity to them that almost scares them. Like, they don't open up easily, because once they do, they're very loyal. This person doesn't take commitments lightly, and they will not entertain anyone. Like, this is not the type of person that has casual, lighthearted relationships. Like, they're either interested in you for something serious and long-term, or you're just a friend, and that's it. In fact, I can really see that this person has had experiences in the past where they've had their heart broken because they thought that a person that they were involved with wanted something more with them too, and then they realized like, oh, you just saw me as a fling. Like they find, like that makes them feel dirty. Like they feel disrespected and they don't want to be disrespectful to anyone else. I also think that they have a really deep and rich emotional world, but they are pretty emotionally stable. Like they're very emotionally like mature, so they know they can pay attention to their emotions and also process them in healthy ways. However, not all the time. I feel like when they are not ready to deal with an emotion, they do bottle it up and stuff it down. I feel like they can hide a lot, but a lot of what they hide is like their dreams, their desires, like the things that mean the most to them, like their wishes. I feel like there's just a part of them that has really been taught like it's not safe to share my inner world. It's not safe to share my dreams. Like I don't want to be laughed at. I don't want to be made fun of. And also I don't want, like if this person wrote a screenplay, they would have to really trust you before they ever let you like see it. Like, and you would probably be blown away because they have like a very powerful artistic talent. In fact, I think that this person in the future like could publish or like become known for something that they create that's maybe very different from their career, but just is something that like, because they have other talents. Like this person is very multifaceted, and I think that they're also a very good judge of character, and that might actually make you mad about this person, because I feel like there will be certain friends in your life where this person will be like, yeah, I'm not really a big fan of them, and they might not admit that. Actually, they won't admit that to you. You will start to recognize like, do you not like this friend? Or like, why do you act different when this friend comes around? And they're gonna be like, yeah, it's because I don't really try. Like they'll be honest if you ask them. And if they're not ready to share something, then they'll probably say like, they might change the conversation, or they might just say like, you know, let's not talk about that right now, or like, I'm not ready to talk about that, or something like that. I definitely think that part of the reason why they hold back is because they're afraid of emotional instability. Like, I definitely feel like they just grew up with like a parent, or, you know, just someone in their environment that like, you know, a grandparent, a sibling, that if they did anything to upset that family member, they regretted it. You know, like they would have to deal with however they lashed out. And I also think too, this makes me really sad, but they could have been made fun of for their artistic sensibilities, for being sensitive. Maybe that was not allowed. And I definitely think that this person has compartmentalized a lot of their, a lot of the parts of them that they feel like were not accepted in their family. And I feel like those are things that they probably are going to want to share with you, or they feel like, oh, like, I feel like you will sense that there's a lot more to this person. But they might be kind of frustrating to you at first, because they will be hard to read and they will be kind of quiet. I also think that in terms of communication, they are not somebody that is going to be like communicating all day. And that's usually because they're working and doing other things. But I do feel like they are someone who will be like, hey, sorry, I missed you. Or like, you know, they might prefer in-person communication or things like that. I definitely think that they're not a very techie person, in the sense that like, even if they literally did something with technology, when it comes to like social media and like tech communication, I feel like they're like, nah, I kind of prefer like in-person sort of stuff there. I feel like this person in general is shy, but once they trust you and once they open up, you get like the all of them, like that's when you really get like, there's so much more to them than meets the eye. I do feel like this person could be unassuming on the surface, but I also think as well, like, this person shows how they care in terms of acts of service, potential or potentially gift giving. I definitely think like, this is the type of person who wants to give you a ride to the airport. This is the type of person that wants to pick up the check if you go out to eat. This is the type of person who wants to take any material burdens off of your plate. And I feel like with where they are too shy maybe to share things emotionally, they will supplement that with action. Like, and that does not always have to be like with money. It could also be with like, you know, physical affection, or even just like small protective things, like putting their arm around you, or you know, asking you to tell them when you're home safe. Like, they're definitely someone who will show that they care more than like say outright that they care, because they're afraid of looking silly. I definitely think that they have some wounds around being emotionally vulnerable. So that's what we have for them. Let's go ahead and see how they see you if this person is in your present, or how they will see you if they are in your future. So we have the Page of Cups. Okay, this is making sense. And we have Sacred Guardian. Okay. What else? How does this person see group 2? Okay, we have the 3rd house. We have Scorpio again, and we have Venus. So the thing when I saw Scorpio is like, they might not realize this at first, but they're like, oh, I think group 2 can match my freak. And I think honestly, some of what they mean by match my freak is like, oh, you just have like deep emotions too. Wow. I love this though. They see you as an absolute sweetheart, and they see you as like precious. Like, they want to protect you. And actually, here's what's interesting. I was getting stuff about an emotionally volatile family member, but I think there's also a family member that they kind of revere, maybe even put on a pedestal, or see as like a reason, as like the standard of just like what the best person is. I feel like you embody certain qualities of that family member, and that is something that will really make them interested in you, because it's not like physical things, like nothing weird, like, you know, this isn't White Lotus season 3 or anything like that, nothing like that, but it's like certain character qualities, like gentleness, generosity, kindness, caring about like the world's creatures, being artistic, things like that. All of that is going to really endear them to you. I think that they like, the biggest thing that they are going to find is like, group 2 is so precious, protect them at all costs. Like, you are sugar, not high fructose corn syrup. Like, you are the real deal. I also think though that they find you to be very warm, and I think that the outside of you could be very very, very attractive. Like, and they could see you as just very conventionally attractive, but I think the thing that they find most attractive about you is your heart, and like just your sweetness, your sensitivity, and your emotional nature. I feel like if they ever see you cry, like, that will actually be something that they find really endearing, because they know that you feel safe enough to express emotion around them. But with Venus as well, like, they find you to be like their ideal romantic interest. They'll definitely really like your style, and like, they will just be very attracted to you physically. But physical attraction is not the most important thing to them. Like, it's much more so about like what is in your heart. And they see your heart as being very pure. And there's almost a naivete to you that they want to protect at all costs. But like, the thing is like Britney Spears, you're not that innocent, and they could be projecting a little bit. Like, they could just be kind of putting you on a similar pedestal where they're like, oh, group number 2 could do no wrong, or like, you know, group number 2 is precious, I don't want to do anything to like corrupt them, which like, this person is not the corruptible side. Like, they just definitely like, in certain ecosystems, there are laws about not interacting with wildlife for their well-being. That's kind of the example of what I mean by not corrupting. Like, they never want to impart their will on you, or like make you feel like you have to be a certain way around them. Like, they want you to be yourself around them, and when they get to see your real self, like, they will love that. I also feel like they love that you can be playful, and like they feel like your inner child comes out around them, and I feel like they're gonna find that really attractive because it's that inner part of them, that like sensitive, more emotional, artistic aspects of them, or creative aspects. It might not be overtly artistic, but it seems like you are artistic or creative in some way. That will be something really, really like attractive to them, because they want to tap into those parts of themselves. And I feel like they've even had partners in the past where they repeated that cycle that this person experienced with certain family members that were like, don't be that way. That's not attractive, or that's not realistic. And so I feel like they're gonna really love the fact that they feel safe around you, but they also love that you'll feel safe enough to be soft around them. They're gonna feel very protective over you in general. And I think one thing that they love about you, like they're really just gonna adore you from the get-go. Like they're gonna find you to be very, very attractive, but very sweet and very cute as well. I also think that they're gonna love talking to you. They might meet you through a sibling, or you guys might talk on a very casual basis before things get more in depth. Or they could be afraid to talk to you more deeply for a while because they're afraid of like, oh, what if they just see me as a friend? Like, I definitely think this is someone who hides their insecurities well, but like, I do think they will feel like you are too good for them, or that you're way out of their league. And so I do feel like they will find being around you a little bit nerve-wracking. I actually think, even though this person doesn't prefer communication like texting and phone calls and stuff, I actually think that they'll prefer it at first with you, or they will appreciate its place in things, because being around you, like they feel nervous, like at least through text and stuff, like they can think about what they're saying, and like there's less on the spot pressure to be a certain way. They also feel like you're very aesthetically pleasing. If they've been in your home, or if they do come to your space, like they will feel like it's very well decorated and very well designed. Like they will really love your attention to detail. You might even have like, you might come to their house and be like, oh, like, why don't you put a rug here? Or like, why don't you put up a picture here? And like, they will really love that you have this like aesthetic detail, like this eye for design. You might be younger than them. And that might be something that actually they feel hesitant about. Obviously, unless it's like an inappropriate age gap, I would say, like, if it is an inappropriate age gap, I would say you should stop watching this reading and set proper boundaries. But they could just feel like as well, like you are younger than them, and so they feel protective over you, and they want to preserve the innocence that is still left in you, and like really treat you right. Like they want to treat you right. And I think they see a younger version of themselves in you that was really jaded by the world, and they love that you haven't lost that part of yourself. I also think that they see you as well as just someone very deep, someone very intense, and they love that you feel deeply, and they love, like, you just kind of seem to be someone that has like a very romantic relationship with life. Like, you seem to live life in a way that is soft and gentle to them, and I think they really appreciate that about you. It like makes them want to do the same, or inspire them to be more like that as well. So let's go ahead and see what their intentions are, or what their intentions will be. So, wow, okay, we have the Ace of Cups, and we have Control. Okay, we're gonna look into that more deeply. But let's see, what else? What are this person's intentions towards group number 2, please? Okay, we have Scorpio again. Like, oh my gosh, holy Scorpio. What else? We have the 11th house. And we have the North Node. So I definitely think that this person's intentions are to take things slow, but to be very serious about you. Like, I mean, if this person is already in your life, I would be shocked if you haven't already been told by them that like they see something very real with you. With the 11th house as well, I feel like you are someone, like, even if this person isn't really on social media, I think they have like fantasies or desires of like posting you on their social media. Like they feel like that's like the ultimate clout. Like, I don't know, they would be very proud to show you off. I do this control thing. I'm like, what is this? We'll look in the tarot just to see if there's any red flags around that. This could be partially just them wanting to be in control of how things unfold. Like, they don't want you to feel like you have to take action here. Or it could just be that they want to take things slow because they feel very deeply for you already, or they're going to feel very strongly about you very soon. Like I said, as they were describing you, like, oh, this person loves, like, I feel like they will be like, okay, I think, and I'm hearing I think by Tyler, the Creator. Like, I think that they will be like, oh my gosh, I think that group 2 is who I've been looking for. I think that group 2 is like the person that I could really see a future with. I mean, we have the North Node. Like, they are going to treat this with caution and with carefulness. But I also feel like there might be some perfectionist tendencies where they want to make sure that like everything is perfect and everything is right because they could really see a future and they don't want to mess that up. I also think with the 11th house here, like, they might really want to know like just more about your world, or I feel like they're just really future focused with you. The fact that we have Scorpio energy as well, like, there's just a seriousness, and I also think that like they might be holding back how quickly they can get attached. But I think the thing is the fact that we have Scorpio here as well, like with you, like maybe you also get attached really quickly. And so, and maybe they recognize that. So they're like, okay, I need to make sure that we go slow and that we're doing what's best for the both of us. But I'm not gonna lie, if this is a consensual situation, the both of you might fall into a dynamic where one does more of the leading and the other enjoys that. If that is the case, I do feel like their intention is to, you know, follow that dynamic, or maybe just like, I don't know if that would be a discussion. I don't like, I guess I would just say like, you know, if this person doesn't allow you to have your own sovereignty or anything like that, it doesn't feel like that vibe. But if there's some dynamic that y'all are into, like, go with God. I'm no judgment here. I do think though that they, I guess that makes that match my freak make sense. Cause cause this person, like they hide a lot, not in a, like a nefarious way, but like they hold back. And so I feel like there's something where like they want this, like, if you have the same feelings that they have for you, like they want this to be a slow burn, and they do kind of want to hold back so that they don't get their heart broken, or that they come on too strong, or have like, or do too much too soon. And with the 11th house here as well, I do feel like there are some aspects of like you being a wish come true for them. And maybe the same, like, you know, the fact that this is a new person, like, one thing I will say is like, I do think for some of you, this person is maybe someone you manifest, or someone that like has the qualities that you've really been looking for. Because I feel like on your end as well, you are going to very soon on be like, I feel like you're gonna have this thing where it's like, I wasn't expecting it to be this person. And there are certain aspects of their personality or the way that they are that I wouldn't have thought that I would be so attracted to, or I wouldn't have thought I had wanted. But now that it's right in front of me, I'm like, oh yeah, this is actually perfect for me. I definitely think that this type of person will be someone that you wouldn't have gone for in the past or wouldn't have been interested in. And then you realize like, oh, I've really healed because like the way that they are and the way that they treat me is so different from what I'm used to. I definitely think that their intentions are to follow their feelings, but without being overbearing, and see if the future that they envision you guys potentially having is real. I definitely think that they're very serious, or they will be very serious. Like, there will not be game playing. It might take time for you to have serious conversations, but they will not be like, oh yeah, I see you in my future, and then be like, JK, never mind, LOL. Like, they're not gonna be like switching up on you. Like, they don't even introduce conversations like that unless they're very, very clear about that. And I also do just have to mention the fact that 2 aces showed up, like, that is a sign, just, I guess, fun tarot fact, like 2 aces in a reading can be symbolic of an important partnership. So I definitely feel like this person sees you as someone very important, and they want to keep They don't like, I definitely think that it's going to take time for you to see like their depth. They're definitely going to hold back a little bit with you out of fear of like, oh, I don't want to turn this person off, because they have been taught that like certain parts of them are bad or wrong. However, let's get into the tarot. So while I'm shuffling, if you are enjoying this reading, thank you to everyone who leaves me a little like. It's very helpful, and it also lets me know what y'all want to see more of. If you'd like to support me in other ways, commenting down below is really helpful. Letting the ads play for the first 30 seconds, super helpful. So we live in, or at least I live in, capitalist society. You can, I don't know, subscribe if you haven't already. Other stuff like that. But if not, I'm just grateful you're here. I'm grateful you're sharing space with me and letting me read for you. The first thing I do want to ask, though, is just with this control card, like, I do want to know if there's any red flags that you should be aware of, or like, just if there's anything questionable you should be aware of, because this is a new situation. I just want to make sure you're okay. So, Spirit, are there any red flags with this situation that group number 2 should be aware of? No. Okay. We have the King of Cups. So, yeah, no. This person is a good egg. I definitely think the control speaks to, which I felt like, but I was like, oh crap, I hope like I wasn't reading this wrong, but I knew I wasn't. Like, they have genuine intentions. I just definitely think that they hold back a lot. And I think their intentions are to explore their emotions. But the King of Cups is very like, the typical King of Cups is sitting alone on an island surrounded by water. So they do not share or open up emotionally very easily, but they feel very deeply. And King of Cups is also Scorpio energy. So they are going to hold back and be withheld and withdrawn about their emotions, but you're going to see how they feel about you, because first of all, they're going to make time for you. They're going to show up for you. They're going to say things like, you know, thank you for spending time with me, or, you know, they're going to make an effort with you. And if they're not interacting with you, it's not because they're ignoring you or playing games. It's because they're working, or they're like doing something important. This is definitely a family-oriented person, and I will say, like, their family does take precedence over you. If this evolves into a very significant relationship, I think that will evolve over time. But I will say, I guess if there's any red flag with them, which I don't think that this is inherently a red flag, but it can be if there's enabling involved. I do think that they can be overly generous to certain family members to the point where it's enabling, and they could have a hard time saying no, and that could get in the way of their ability to spend as much time with you or spend as much energy with you as they would like. But I do think even just interacting with one another, that could be a helpful thing for them to realize where maybe they need to set better boundaries and shift things up. But yeah, I will say, like, the people that mean the most to them, like, come first. And this is someone who is like, I don't want to be in a relationship unless like it's heading towards serious commitment. I mean, like, when I think Scorpio, I think contracts. Like, I think till death do us part. Like, so I definitely think that, you know, if you guys were made it to like the point of incredibly serious commitment, you would come first. But there might be a tug of war as this person figures out a new balance. And the reality is that, like, they are that way, not because they feel bad, but because they care a lot about their family, and you know, they don't want to disappoint them, and they want to take care of them. Like, this is someone who does take care of the people that they love. And so you know that they will take care of you. Like, they certainly wouldn't neglect your needs over their family's needs, but like, in terms of who comes first, you're not going to take precedence over their family immediately. That's going to be something that happens over time if the relationship evolves and you guys get more serious and more committed. So let's see what you need to know about this situation and this connection and this person. So what does group 2 need to know about the situation you might be wondering if this is too good to be true, or you might have a tendency to create fearful realities that have no basis, create fearful ideas that have no basis in reality. If you know this person already, you may not be happy with the frequency at which you communicate. And I will say the frequency at which you communicate is not because they're talking to other people. It's not because they don't care. It's because their time and energy is spread thin. Like, they do spend a lot of time working. But also, the worst thing that you can do is create fearful ideas that are literally so far from the truth. Like, this person, you know, that there's another meme I'm thinking of, or maybe I was talking about the Spider-Man meme in the first reading. I don't know, I can't remember. But for you guys, I'm thinking of that meme where there's two people in bed, and like the girl is like, I bet he's thinking about someone else, and then like the guy is like thinking about like, you know, farming, something random, like something. It's kind of like that. Like, don't let your insecurities create fearful stories that lead to friction or just emotional distress, because they're not rooted in reality. And honestly, you can be open about that. Like, be like, listen, like, I just want to know, like, are you taught, like, if you ask for the truth, they will give you that, unless it's something about like how they're feeling, or something about like something that's like really intimate and vulnerable. Like, they're gonna be honest, like, about, no, I'm only seeing you, or no, I'm only talking to you. Like, if they were talking to someone else, they would be honest about that. If they weren't over someone yet, they would be honest about that. Like, and I don't think that's the case, but I think that your mind can run with very fearful stories. And so there's really this encouragement to be like, you know, if they say they're fine, or if they say they were working, they were working. Like, I don't need to use my precious and visionary mental energy on fearful stories that have no basis in reality. That's like, it's like creating a haunted house for yourself that just sucks and isn't fun, which I think all haunted houses are that way. But I know some people enjoy them. I'm literally like, I'm afraid of the grocery store. Like, I have to go to haunted houses every day. But also, if you haven't met this person yet, the vibe that I got was you might be feeling like this person is too good to be true. And the universe is saying, no, actually, you should be dreaming harder, and you should really just lean into what you desire from this situation, because you can have it. Like, this reading came to you, and this type of person and this type of energy showed up because you're already creating that. So what you need to understand is that your doubt and your fear are not keeping that away, but it might create confusion for you. And it might also be something where you scare yourself into thinking maybe it's not real, maybe it's not true. But you have to know, like, you are already creating this, and like, you can have what you truly want. You don't have to settle for someone that doesn't care to get to know you, that doesn't appreciate who you really are, that doesn't appreciate your authentic self. I definitely think, though, in the earlier stages of you getting to know one another, there might be like a lot of just fearful ideas about the other, because you just haven't been able to see each other's world enough and know how you operate. But over time, you're gonna like look back and be like, oh, I was so silly, I was so worried about that for no reason. Like, anyway, the other thing is, for those of you that haven't met yet, or I guess actually this is for both of y'all, you might be dreaming about one another, or this person might show up in your dreams before you meet them. This person might be sober. Or if you are on a journey of sobriety, or like having a better relationship with substances, this could actually be something that is bringing you towards this person. Maybe that's like something that brings you two together, or it's just something that helps you become clear on, you know, how maybe unhealthy relationships with certain substances could have created just distortions around behavior that was okay and not okay, like the type of care and appreciation that you truly deserve. Like, I feel like you could have settled for less, or made yourself believe like certain behavior was okay because the pain involved, like the substances maybe help numb that. And so I think that one thing about this relationship is that the reality of this relationship will feel way better than any escape into fantasy. And yeah, like this is a situation where reality will be better than fantasy. And you might even realize like how in past relationships, fantasy supplemented a lot of the painful reality and maybe kept you in a situation where you gave someone the benefit of the doubt way too long. And I think that actually what's really beautiful about it is that you're going to be very forgiving of yourself and recognize like, wow, I wasn't able to see what I wasn't able to see until I saw it. Like I wasn't able to recognize what reality looks like and what a good reality looks like until someone was here to help show me that. So I love that. That's beautiful. Okay, let's ask, what makes this connection special? Like what makes this connection really special, Spirit? Like why? What will be special, or just one thing that will be special about this person crushing on group one and group one for them? I think what will be really special is that like I think this situation will help both of you get out of your heads and move through fear. I feel like it's going to be very healing on both ends, where both of you have felt trapped or feel like you've had to hold back or have been in situations where you had to hide who you are or constrain yourselves. You guys get to set yourselves free in a lot of ways and realize where maybe you were never trapped. You were just stuck in illusions around a lack of safety, around being yourself or showing up in certain ways. I also think as well, one special thing about this as well is like, any time, like I feel like this is going to be someone where you're really safe to open up about your fearful thoughts, your insecure thoughts, and vice versa. I feel like they're going to do that with you, and you guys are going to really help one another see like the mental limitations you've had that are keeping you trapped in like stifling self-expression. I feel like life is going to get a lot more fun. But yeah, I guess I'm trying to think of like what I want to ask around like I guess if you're all ready, if you already know who this is, let's just see what's next. And then if you haven't met them yet, I guess what's next will be what's first. Like how will you meet them, or like when, whatever. So what's next for these two, or what's first? Maybe the Five of Pentacles. So can we clarify that? Nine of Cups. So that's cute. Okay, what's next is that there could be something in one of your personal lives, if you guys already know each other, or okay, if you haven't heard from this person in a minute, I feel like you might be hearing from them in a really sweet way. Like they might have some really sweet gesture to make up for the fact that they haven't been able to talk to you as much. But if you are really down on your luck or having a hard time, or just really reaching a point of despondence around a desire for love and romance, that might, like when you give up, I know it's a cliche, but that might be exactly when this person comes into your life. You could meet this person during winter, or in a situation like in a traditional dating scenario. Like I guess you could meet them online, for example, or you could meet them in a like in a speed dating thing, or like in a singles event, like something where romance is like, or like romantic relationships, and like the type of romantic relationship you're looking for is like clearly stated. Although it might just be like dark and cold when you meet them for the first time, or your inner world. Like you might be real, like you might meet them during a time where like life is really not feeling too great. Like you might be really struggling materially or mentally or physically. And I definitely think that they will come in as like a really big blessing in your life, and it will kind of take you by surprise. But definitely I feel like what's next for you, if you already do know them, is like a making up for the fact that maybe they haven't been able to spend as much time with you, or maybe you have been dealing with fearful fantasies. Like maybe you looked at this being like, oh, I hope I don't get this person because I'm over it, whatever. Like you're trying to protect your heart, and then you realize, and then they come through and make you realize you were maybe being a bit silly and pushing the situation away because you were afraid of being rejected, or afraid of like them not being interested in you, or you like reading signs incorrectly. But I definitely think that you'll either meet this person in a time where you least expect it, and they're like there to support you. And I definitely think it's on your end, like you're going through something, like maybe you've lost someone or lost something really significant, and they kind of come in and really show you gentleness and care and support during a really vulnerable time. Or they just come when you least expect them, like when you're really not focused on it, which, like I said, I know is a cliche, but if you already do know them, I definitely think what's next is like, there might be a continuation of a period of not really hearing from them as much. And I guess that's why that what you need to know came through. Like, hey, like if they're not, like if they, especially if they've already made it clear, like they are interested in you, or if you guys haven't crossed that threshold from like friendship to like romantic interest yet, I do think that will be coming sooner rather than later, I feel like. But let's just get guidance. That's kind of what I am feeling. It might also be too, like, I do feel like when it comes to romantic gestures and genuine expressions of feelings, or like just moving the connection forward, they are going to want to do those things in person. So you might hope that like they tell you how they feel for you. Like maybe you guys don't get to see each other very often, so maybe you're hoping they'll tell you how they feel, or what they really want, or something. I feel like they would tell you what they want over text, but like they probably wouldn't be comfortable telling you over the phone like what their true feelings are for you, or like, you know, they wouldn't ask you to like be exclusive over the phone. Like they would do that in person. Like they're very much like traditional like that. And so you might have these like lingering doubts, like maybe they're not interested in me, and then you actually are hanging out with them, and then they're like, and they like plan something like really sweet and thoughtful, like a romantic gesture that's like, oh wow, I was not only off base, I was completely wrong. Like there's more here than meets the eye. So let's go ahead and finish this reading off with just a guidance card for you. There's like specific love guidance in this. I'll start by reading it intuitively and then see what the book says, just for the most thorough interpretations. But obviously take things as they resonate for you. You know, if there's guidance that scares you and feels wrong, I would say that's not guidance for you. If there's guidance that feels right for you, and other aspects of guidance that feel wrong, just take what feels right. Okay. Spirit, what guidance do you have for group number 2 when it comes to this situation and this person, whether it's a present situation or a future situation? What do they need to know, please? We have building blocks. Okay. So I definitely think that if this person is not in your life, I feel like you're already like making this situation happen. Like you're setting the stage, planting the seeds. The number 28 could be significant in some sort of way. But also if they are in your life, like there is a reason why, even though the feelings might be very strong already, things aren't moving as quickly as maybe you would like them to. Like this person, and you might be frustrated because you can feel that this person is intentionally holding back, but they're not holding back because they're not interested in you. They're holding back because they don't want to do too much too soon. Like they don't want to shoot themselves in the foot. They want things to be really solid here. They want a solid foundation with you, and they definitely don't want to mess this up. I think that they would rather do things right. And like I said, they are the epitome of patience. So they are more than willing to take their time, and they would rather take their time than build something shoddy and there be an issue down the line, or them not be able to, or something happen that they don't want to happen because they didn't take their time, or they didn't, build a solid foundation. So let's see what it says here. building blocks. Strong foundation, a beautiful work in progress. When you see this card, know that you are attracting new relationships. And I told you this was a new person. You're attracting new relationships into your life and solidifying the ones you already have. And if they're already in here, you're solidifying it by building them on foundations of honesty, humility, clear communication, and a genuine desire to know one another. I told you, they will, like, the only thing that they will not tell you outright are things that are just too vulnerable, or like, you know, are around wounds, or like their deepest of emotions that they're just not ready to share yet. And even then, they won't lie to you. They'll just say, like, I'm not ready to share that yet, or, you know, kind of move things along until they are ready. You are moving toward laying the groundwork for a relationship with a firm footing that will ensure it can withstand any storm. Yes. Long-standing relationships are also repaired and strengthened. You and the other person are stronger, wiser, and more powerful together than apart. And that's one thing as well that you will realize is you guys make like a really good team, and there's a really solid energy between the two of you. I really like to see it, and I'm really excited for you guys. So definitely let me know. Do you guys know this person, or is this confirming a manifestation that you've already been creating? Because trust, if it's here, you were meant to see it for a reason. So group number 2, that is where I'm going to leave your reading. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways to show support and appreciation for my channel. Letting them play for the first 30 seconds is all you need to do. And I don't expect you to watch them. I'm not a monster. But other ways to support me, you can like this video, comment down below, let me know how it resonates. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my merch, social media, candles. You can check out other videos, ones with extendeds. You can share me with a friend. You can send me good vibes. You can tip me. I am palehag on Cashapp, and my email through PayPal. But I will say I can respond to you on Cashapp. I can't respond to you on PayPal, so just be aware of that. Yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I really hope that this reading resonated and brought you the clarity you were looking for. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Sesame La Boo Boo or the colors silver/gold, this is going to be a reading on who has a crush on you presently, or who will have a crush on you in the future once they meet you. So we're going to start by looking at who this person is, and we're going to go from there. So full breakdown of the reading in the intro if you would like it. But to start, we have the Magician, and we have Lizard. And I'm going to use these Astro Dice as well. Who is the person that does or will have a crush on group number 3? Okay, we have Gemini, we have Mars, and we have the 2nd house. Okay, so lots of synchronicities here. So we have fire and Mercury energy. The Magician is ruled by Mercury, so that is Gemini, the sign of Gemini, and the sign of Virgo. We also have fire energies here with the Lizard, so that's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. With Mars, Aries is ruled by Mars, so more of that energy. And we also have the 2nd house, so there can be some Taurus energy as well, but they do not have to have these placements, let me be clear. But they do have these energies. This person is a go-getter, and what did they go get? A lot of different things. I mean, the fact that we have Gemini and Mars here, this is someone with a brilliant mind, someone who has a very quick acting mind, someone who is excellent at communication, and someone who is very passionate, although they can burn out very quickly. The fact that we have the Lizard here as well, this is someone who has like very powerful intuitive abilities, but they get burnt out really quickly. They can get overstimulated really quickly, and they have a hard time trusting what they intuit. The fact that we have the Magician here, if you don't know who this person is yet, I would say that they are in the process of manifesting you. So if you're manifesting this person, I feel like this is a sign that you guys are manifesting each other. I would definitely say for a lot of you, especially in this group, I would not be shocked if this person is somebody that you haven't met yet and somebody that is in the process of manifesting you, and vice versa. Even if you're not manifesting anything, like this person could literally just be bringing you into their world without realizing that it's you. But if you do know this person, I would say that you love talking to them. They are so fun to talk to. They're so interesting. They have weird thoughts, and if you have weird thoughts, you probably really appreciate that about them. I definitely feel like they're very dynamic, and when they are like, it's clear when they need time to themselves, because let's be clear, this person does need time to themselves from time to time. And I do think that they are very focused on making moves, and when it comes to their career world and when it comes to just like making their dreams come true. What's that song? Well, I guess there's a lot of songs about making dreams come true. So whatever song comes to your mind, that's a sign for you. I definitely think though as well, they are someone with their own spiritual compass that they follow. Like, and for some of you, their spirituality is incredibly scientific or tech-based. Like they view their spirituality through a tech lens or a science lens, or it's part of what informs them. I definitely think as well they're incredibly hard on themselves, but at the same time, like they have this infectious energy to them where like I just even feel like more animated reading for them, where like they're very charismatic, very easy to talk to. People love talking to them. They could be very active or have a lot of energy, or kind of oscillate between having lots of energy or having no energy. I think as well they can be a bit disorganized in the sense that like when they're not doing well, they can be a bit flaky or elusive or non-committal. Now, non-committal, I'm not saying in terms of like a relationship, because it seems like, well, we'll get there. This is just someone who like, when you make plans with them, the plans might change or they might fall through. And if you're a type A person, that might be really challenging. But if you're a type B person, this might be more just like, yeah, this is kind of, they're never like doing anything to be shitty though. And I think especially when they're really passionate about someone, they do their best to follow through. Like, I don't think that they cancel plans because they don't feel like it. It might be because like they've put too much off at the last minute and now they have to scramble. But they do struggle with self-esteem a little bit. I do think that they have a hard time feeling good about themselves, even though they do so much, and they are very like, people love them, like people adore them, but there is a part of them that feels like they're not good enough. I definitely think as well, like they underestimate their ability to create. Like they are such a powerful creator, and then at the same time, like they're their own worst enemy. Like they take 2 steps forward and then shoot themselves in the foot, and then they have to wait and heal in order to keep moving forward. They're very, very, very sensitive as well. And I think that like their sensitivity might confuse them, or might be confusing to other people, because they don't seem very sensitive, or they don't seem like the way that they express their sensitivity isn't always in like the traditional societal definition of what sensitivity looks like. You know, I feel like they are very shy about their emotions. So, you know, one way in which they might appear elusive is like if they're sensitive about something emotionally, they're probably going to want to retreat before they deal with it. They are like, even this is someone who is technically an introvert. I hate the term introverted extrovert because like, I mean, I guess it's a real term, but I wouldn't call this person that. I would say that they are likely more introverted in the sense that too much stimulation, too much time around people, too much noise and chaos does drain them over time. And for all of you, the amount of stimulation they can handle is different. For some of you, like this person might fully live in a city and kind of thrive on city life sometimes when they have the energy for it and when they're in like that right place. But once they're done, they're done. Like, and that might mean leaving the party, like Irish exiting and being like, yeah, my social battery ran out and I was just done. For others, I definitely feel like this person could be like an introvert, a true introvert, but that doesn't mean that they're socially awkward or like bad at communicating. I think that this person is actually very charming and charismatic. I mean, we have the Magician here. The thing is, though, is that socialization drains them, and even people that they love and care about, like, they need time away to just hear themselves or decompress, so that they don't get too drained. But when they're feeling good, which I feel like is usually most of the time, because they're pretty good about paying attention to those things, they're very fun. They can, they've got a good sense of humor. They're quirky. They love to try new things. They love to explore and experience. They love to get to know people. They love to like connect, like talk about random crap. Like, they're definitely someone who is here to have a good time, and if you guys have a good time, they'll stick around for a long time. Like, the only thing that I think that this person doesn't have time for are people that just like drain the shit out of them, or are like want them to be miserable. Like, they can't really handle like miserable people, or people that are always sad all the time, or like kind of attached or addicted to their own misery. Like, and I think that's partially because they've been in that place before and they know what that feels like, and they just like, they don't have space for it anymore. But that doesn't mean they're not compassionate. It just means like, I can't be around that energy. Like, it just puts me in a space that like I have moved on from. And I think that this is the thing about this person, is that they can get stuck in really negative thought cycles and patterns. And so a lot of like their journey for themselves has been about overcoming the odds that they literally create inside of themselves. And the thing that's really cool about them is that they never count them out, because like the odds will be stacked against them and they'll make it happen. Actually, it's almost like when the odds are stacked against them, they're more likely to thrive. And they almost might do well under pressure or under challenge like that. And I do think that by the time you meet them, or like once you know them, they will be more confident in themselves than maybe if this is their current energy and you haven't met them yet. Or they will talk to you about like, you know, how they used to be, or where they've come from. Because I do feel like this person is very independent, and they like, they could be an entrepreneur or like an inventor, or someone that really does things their own way, marches to the beat of their own drum, and is just kind of like, they're competing with themselves, and like they have had a lot of time to overcome obstacles, and they still have obstacles to overcome, and a lot of those are within them. They've done a lot in terms of personal development. One way you will know that they are them is they will talk about like the wisdom that they've learned from self-discovery. They are incredibly self-aware, and they are still like, they will always consider themselves a work in progress. I don't think this person would ever call themselves enlightened, because they feel like there's always more to discover, more to learn. And I think that they're also a dreamer. I feel like they love being around people that they can just have fun with and see hope and possibility around. And one thing that's really interesting about them is that they're really good at hiding when they're struggling, or really good at hiding the darker or like more cumbersome negative energies they might be carrying. So I feel like a lot of people will assume like this person is fine. you know that like little audio that's like, you know, you just have to pretend and say you're fine, but it's not fine. Like, this person has no time for wallowing in self-pity. Like, they really don't let that happen for themselves, but they will fully be not fine and seem fine to everyone. In fact, they're so good at that they convince themselves they're fine, and then they reach a point where they're like, oh my God, like, oh, like, I guess, like, my internal world was on fire and I didn't even realize it. Like, they can handle their own heat so well, they don't realize when they're struggling. But I also think as well, like, they are someone who, they're very dynamic, like, they're very expressive. They love to talk. They'll want to, like, this person is a yapper. They will want to yap to you about anything and everything. And they will want to hear you yap. They will want to know everything you think about everything. this is also someone with a very acute sense of detail. They can be highly critical of themselves, but that also allows them to demand excellence. I also think that this person just has this like magic to them where like they really charm people, and people remember this person. Like they could meet someone once at a party and like this, and that person, even if they never see this person that has a crush on you again, they will remember them for the rest of their lives. Like this person just has a magnetic, magnanimous, something like that energy where they do it big. Like some people would tell this person that they're too much, and they would say, well, maybe they're just not enough. I also think as well, like they are someone who really needs to be connected to themselves in order to connect to their own like magic and manifestation abilities. And they are just someone, like they have main character energy, I'm not gonna lie, like, but that doesn't mean that they are full of themselves or really see themselves as a main character. It's just that like they're not really focused on other people, and if they are focused on other people, it's usually just like from curiosity and fascination and like wanting to know and learn. But I feel like I'm missing something from the lizard, so I'm gonna open the book really quickly and see if there's something there that I'm missing. Lizard. This is the Animal Spirit Guidebook, one of the classics. If you've been here, you probably know. Oh, literally over here. The lizard is an expert in the realm of sensory perception. As if it has a sixth sense, the lizard hears what is yet to be spoken, sees what is yet to manifest. Yeah, okay, that is like really important because like they can feel things before they happen and they feel crazy. Like they are incredibly intuitive, but they definitely doubt themselves. Like they're always in two minds about their own abilities, like with that Gemini energy. And I also feel like as well, they can almost have an excess of like mental energy or an excess of like stimuli they're picking up on. And it can be hard to filter what is truth from like what is something else, what isn't theirs. Although this is an amazing gift, it can easily wear the lizard down. Big crowds, lots of travel, or overstimulation will drain a lizard of their magical essence. This card is an indication to pull back from the bright lights and big city and return to the inner artist who's been whispering your name. So when they're in balance, they're artistic, telepathic, spiritual. And when they're out of balance, they're elusive, non-committal, flaky. So yeah, so whenever they are being like, they're never intentionally like just ignoring you or anything like that. And actually, I think when it comes to you, because first of all, they'll have a crush on you. So like, if they are elusive or take time to like respond to you, it's either because they are overthinking their response or because they want to be in the perfect energy in order to interact with you, which I think is kind of cute. And also I don't think that they would ever cancel plans on you unless like something literally happened that they could not prevent, or like there's a circumstance that would work better for the both of you. I also think as well, some people might be rubbed the wrong way by this person, not literally, but rather like, I think that this person is just really dynamic, and for people that are more reserved and that are uncomfortable, like being effervescent, like I feel like there are just some people that might be jealous of this person or might be irritated by this person because they almost naturally attract the spotlight, and they naturally attract a lot of positive attention, and people really like them. So people say positive things behind this person's back, and other people might be jealous of that. They might be like, why don't people see me that way? And it's like, well, it's kind of hard for people to see you that way if you never share yourself, you know? Maybe you are just as magical and effervescent, or you, I mean those people, but because they don't share it or don't feel safe to, it's not seen. So let's go ahead and see how they see you. So we have the Two of Swords and the Moth Maiden. And let's go deeper. How does this person see group 3? Okay, wait. I can't tell if this is, okay, so this is 6, okay. So the 6th house. We have Sagittarius, and we have the North Node. Okay, so 2 extremely different definitions depending on whether you know this person or not. So for those of you that have not met this person yet, how this person sees you is very literal. They quite literally can't see you, but they do feel you. And the thing is I feel like you pop up in their dreams, or you are a manifestation of their dreams. Like, they can sense you, but they don't see you yet because you're not here. The fact that we have the North Node as well, like, they feel this pull towards you, and they see you as like an aspect of their future. And like, that's really important, because the lizard we saw, it says they see what is yet to be seen. But I feel like they overthink it. I feel like they are afraid of getting their hopes up or it being too good to be true. I feel like they, this is a meme. You don't have to be a big titty goth queen. You don't even need to have titties, but like, I did just hear that in my head, so I do have to say that. They could really hope. They could be like crossing their fingers and be like, big titty goth queen, big titty goth queen. You don't have to be, though. I do think, though, that they see you as the future they're aspiring to, and they see you as a dream worth continuing to forge in their everyday life. Like, I actually think that their desire to have you in their world has really forced them to redefine how they live their life. Like, they're making space for you. Like, they're considering, like, they don't even know who you are, but they're like, I know that I would want to do this with them. And so this might blow your mind, because you might think that you're actually like the person that has a crush on you, but in reality, I think you guys are just mirroring each other, and like, you both are bringing each other in. I feel like they see you as a dream that feels more elusive, and like, they can feel you and it feels real, but like, then their brain is like, yeah, but what if I'm just crazy? What if I'm just a Lulu? Gosh, it's almost like the negative forces and the curmudgeons of the world don't want us to be Delulu because of all the magic that happens when it does. But they see you as a physical representation of their ideals, of their spiritual ideals, and of their beliefs in action, and of the future they want to have. They see you in their future. They feel you in their future. And I feel like they want to have you in their present. Now, if you already know this person, how they see you is really interesting, because it speaks to the level of doubt within themselves and fear within them and uncertainty. Because number one, they see that you are a huge overthinker, like them. In fact, I think that they recognize that you both overthink, but also they see you as someone who carries their own shadows. And the thing about them is that they have a lot of investment in you already. Like, they see you as someone that they want in their future. They see you as someone that makes them better. They see you as someone that they can have philosophical and spiritual conversations with. They see you as someone who expands and enhances their consciousness. And that is one of the single most attractive and important aspects in a person. Like, this person needs that. Like, you are an intellectually stimulating person, but also you have a very powerful attention to detail, the same way they do. And that kind of terrifies them, because they're like, what do they see about me? What if they see everything wrong about me that I see about myself? I also think as well, there is a pragmatism to you where you don't let your emotions get in the way of action. And the thing about that is that's not necessarily like always pragmatism. It could also be self-criticism or fear of being seen in an unpolished way. It like reminds me, this is actually a really sad confession on my part, but as a Virgo moon, I never had like a cringy Wattpad phase, because even me as a young child refused to, like, the thought of ever having my thoughts or like my cringe thoughts or like fantasies written on paper and having to perceive them myself, like, that was horrifying, like my nightmare. So like, all of this cringy teenage crap that lived in my head stayed in my head forever, because the thought of ever putting it in the third dimension, I would have to perceive myself, and that would be horrors beyond my comprehension. So I feel like this person sees you in a similar way. Not that you are horrors beyond their comprehension, but you have the power to create horrors beyond their comprehension, because they care a lot about you. They have feelings for you already. And they're afraid of there not being a future with you. I feel like they see you as their future, and they also see you as someone who deserves the best. And what if they're not the best? Like, I feel like they're creating the outcome where they get you, like they get to have you with them in their life. Like they love like who you are. You bring a sense of peace to them when you guys are in the same place, when you guys are together. But when you're apart, they overthink to high heaven because they just see you as like perfection. And so they're like they see you as a light. And so it's like, why wouldn't other people think, you know, group 3 is amazing? Like, why wouldn't, you know, group, like there's plenty of other amazing people that group 3 could be into, because like this person definitely doubts themselves. And I think that they know that you overthink as well. And I think that there are times where you hold back because you're overthinking, or you're uncertain of like what's going on in this person's head and like what you feel safe sharing. And so this person that has a crush on you sees it as like, that just makes space for their insecurities to write a story that's not true. So like they have a hard time knowing what is really you and what is their fears that they're projecting on you. And they recognize that the only way to figure that out is to pay attention, try to see things as they go. And they do their best to give you the benefit of the doubt, because like when it comes to how they see you, like they see you as so smart. Not only so smart, but just so eloquent. I think that that's probably one reason why they love talking to you. I think you put into words things that they have a hard time. Like you're able to put into words things that they sense, but have a hard time like grounding into tangible language. Not only that though, they see you as a night owl. Maybe you guys are like very opposite, because they seem to have all this light around them and you're kind of in this shadowier place. I don't think they see you as shadowy, but I do think they see you as like, maybe you're up at night, like you're a night owl, or I mean, big titty off queen, like let's call a spade a spade. Maybe you're that and they find that very attractive, or you could have a very unique style that they just find attractive, but you are light in darkness. Like you are a guiding light for them. And in fact, depending on how long you've known this person, you could be a source of inspiration for their own light. And they could feel like you're kind of a siren to them. You know, obviously sirens have a very negative connotation because they use their seductive and alluring powers to bring sailors to their demise. But I don't think that's your intention. I mean, I guess if it is, like, pop off. That's between you and the universe. But I feel like the way that you draw them in specifically, like, you are so alluring to them that there is a part of them that's like, I don't know if this is safe. Like, am I a sailor being lured to my demise? You could have a really beautiful voice, or like a really beautiful singing voice or something like that. They definitely love your face. And they just find you to be very attractive. You seem to have this very ethereal, like almost elfy vibe about you, or just this like mystical vibe about you, where it's like, I feel like you consistently show them who you are, and they have to filter that truth through their fears. It's like they have fear goggles on when it comes to you, because there's so much uncertainty around, well, do you feel the same way, or am I good enough, or am I going to get hurt here? And I think at the same time, though, they see that you overthink as well. And so I think that they have a hard time knowing, like, what is group 3 overthinking and what is them just, like, not being interested in me. Like, there's definitely a lot of, you guys play mind games with yourselves, about each other with yourselves, but not directly to each other. It's like when you guys come together and interact, it's very, like, I think it's very genuine and straightforward, and actually very expansive and intellectually stimulating for the both of you. But when you're apart and reflecting on one another, that's when things get confusing. So if you haven't met this person yet, I do think that's something you should be aware of. Like once you guys come into each other's worlds, there will be aspects of like fear around the other and uncertainty. But I definitely think they will see you as someone who they could really see themselves growing with, someone that they want to have as a part of their everyday life, someone they want to help see their own beauty and see their own light, and also someone that they find to be very philosophically like aligned with, like someone that they want to explore things with. Like they definitely will see you or do see you as being an opposite in all the right ways. And I also think that they just see you as someone who really adds to their life and brings a lot of light to it. I guess I also want to mention the letter M can be significant because we have a lot of M's here. Yeah. Okay, that's my interpretation. So let's go ahead and see what this person's intentions are. Now or once they meet. I guess let's just see what this person's intentions are towards the situation. So we have the Moon and we have Commitment. I'm messing everything up. Not really, I'm just moving cards. Okay, what I just did is an excellent example of this person and potentially an excellent example of something that you do. All right, I was very unconsciously being like, I'm messing everything up. I was just moving cards and they weren't perfectly aligned the way that they were a second ago. And were they perfectly aligned then? No, they were just aligned in a way that satisfied me. Pay attention. Oh, and things move to Saturn. Saturn returns could be significant, but basically pay attention to little things like that. Because your perception of what's actually happening, your perception versus what's actually happening, if you look at what's actually happening, it's far more liberating and far less extreme than what your perception says. I wasn't messing everything up. I was just moving. The cards were moving because I was moving and moving cards. And guess what? They were fixed easily. And I got some insight about you and your reading from doing that. So do not underestimate the opportunity to see the wisdom and the dramatic nature of your perception because that drama is not there to just like stress you out and cause you to catastrophize. It will, but the power in it is to be able to see, number one, how strong your visionary skills are. You both have that. And number two, how you could use those skills to your advantage instead of to your detriment. And also just relieve yourself of a lot of like stress and uncertainty when you have these realizations of, oh, I didn't screw up today. I just didn't get this task done and I can get that task done later. Like, I think that there's a lot of power to come for the both of you, and maybe even through knowing one another, where you really get the opportunity to see what is anxiety and what is intuition, and also how the power of your perception can help or hurt your reality. Because I think you guys do have very powerful, strong realities, and that's part of what's bringing the two of you closer to one another. But I definitely think like if this person has a crush on you and you're already in their life and vice versa, it's likely that there's been a lot of confusion, a lot of like maybe setbacks, or just maybe like a lot of things left up in the air or left unsaid, or like highs and lows even. Distance could also be a factor here as well. But the thing is that like there's a reason why neither of you have seemed to walk away from this yet. And the thing is that if you haven't met this person yet, one of their intentions is to not let their fears get in the way of still grounding their grounding. They're committed to their manifestation. Let's just say their intentions are to stay committed even though they're fearful and uncertain. And if this person is already in your life, they're committed to seeing this situation through even though they're fearful and uncertain, because they couldn't help themselves. It's like if you are, even if you were / are a siren luring them to the depths of the ocean, they'd take it. They'd take it. They'd be like, you know what? This is better than something else. Like, I definitely think though, no matter what your circumstances are, the intentions are to see this situation through. I do think that this person is interested in commitment, but maybe they have fears of commitment, or maybe they're not ready for commitment, or maybe they're afraid that's something you don't want. It's possible there could have been disappointments or setbacks where it was clear that like one or both of you wasn't ready for commitment yet, or if there are circumstances outside of the two of you that made commitment not able to happen right now. But I do think that there's kind of this awareness that like, that doesn't change my commitment to the situation. That doesn't change like my interest in this person. And like intuitively, this person definitely feels like, I'm very scared of what's going to happen in this situation. I'm feeling kind of defeated and uncertain, but I'm not going to stop moving forward. And I definitely think if this is someone you haven't met yet, they definitely doubt their ability to bring you into their life. And they think, what if I'm crazy? What if this isn't real? What if the signs that I see, and what if like these strong, intense feelings are just a manifestation of my own mind, which like they are a manifestation, but they're creating something very real. And the thing is too, is you can know that this is for you if you really struggle to trust you bringing them in. So you guys are, yes, you have differences, but you've got similarities too. So Jupiter just came through as an intention. What else? We have the 5th house. Ooh, I love that. So number 5 could definitely be significant as well. And we have Capricorn. Like, yeah, like, okay. Whether there's commitment or not, there's already attachment. Like, there's attachment to what happens here. If you haven't met one another, there's attachment to the manifestation you already created. And if you do know one another, there's attachment to each other in a way where, like, I do not think, like, however this situation unfolds, like, y'all have more of a commitment to understanding this connection in each other than you do the fears that want the both of you, that make you feel like you want to hold back. I also think with Jupiter here, both of you see that there's a lot of blessings here, and this person especially. And I guess actually, let me take a step back, because for some of you, maybe you're not interested in this person. I have a hard time believing that, because I do think to a degree you probably like brought them in, or like there's something like special about this here. But this is this person's, like your person's intentions. You guys are just mirroring so much. I'm getting lost in the sauce a bit. Their intentions are, they want to keep things light and fun with you, but they are already attached. And like, even if they're the one, like maybe you want commitment and maybe they haven't been able to step up to the plate with that because they don't have what they need yet, or there's some sort of challenge, or maybe they're afraid of commitment. Maybe they're afraid of what will happen. They're still not letting go though. They're like, yeah, but I do want that. I do want that. I'm just terrified and uncertain. And I don't know if like that's what they really want, or if it's just too good to be true. Like there's a lot of overthinking here, but I do feel like they want to see this connection through. And they also feel like this connection this connection has already brought them a lot of blessings, because if you guys haven't met one another, the process that they've had to step into in terms of manifesting you and bringing you in has already brought them blessings in their own life. Like it's already attracted other blessings into their life that have showed them that this process is worth it anyway. But also, if you are in their life, you've been one of the biggest blessings in their life that they could ever like describe. And so, you know, if you're the one that is unsure about commitment, or not ready for commitment, or afraid of commitment, they're like, okay, I might get my heart broken here, but I'm actually, you know what, I'm really fine with that, or I'm willing to face my fears around that because I don't want to walk in a different direction. I'd rather face the unknown and face my fears than give up prematurely. It's really kind of a situation where it's like their heart is not going to release this situation until they know for sure, like there is nothing left to serve the both of you here. And I feel like with the 5th house, their intention is to have fun with you, to be playful. They definitely want to like date you, like go on dates and like do fun things together. And like if you already know this person, I feel like maybe they haven't been able to do much of that, or you guys haven't been able to do much of that. And so they really want to be more playful out in the world with you. Like they want to show you off or just do more things. And like maybe, for example, finances are something that gets in the way of that. So like they're really focused on bringing in blessings and working really hard so that they can afford to do that, or working on whatever is going on within them that makes them afraid to like show up more, or afraid to open up more. Because I do think that there's like this hesitance on both sides, just this fear of like, are you gonna disappoint me? Like, are you gonna run in the opposite direction? Like, are you saying what you mean and mean what you say? I definitely think their intention though is to show you that their feelings for you are stronger than their fears about what will happen here. And I feel like they're kind of just trying to follow their intuition. And the challenge with that is like, what is fear and what is intuitive wisdom or intuitive guidance? I definitely think as well, like they really want to, their intention is to do whatever this connection asks of them, like step up in those ways. And if they can't step up, then they're going to develop what they need to in order to step up. And I definitely think that like their desire is to keep things light, but also at the same time change whatever isn't working. Or if you guys haven't met one another yet, continue making the changes necessary in order to bring the other in, no matter how uncertain and fearful they might be that this situation is just all in their head and that they may never find you. Like there is a part of them worried, like, what if I never find group 3? And so if you have that fear, just know that like that's something you're both carrying and already connecting over. So one great thing to change is maybe, I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to find you. Like, make that happen. Let go of that fear. Okay. So let's go ahead now and pull your tarot. This is a very interesting reading. And I hope that everything is coming through and making sense, because there are distinct energies here based on whether you're in one another's life or not. Like, and this definitely seems to be the least clear cut of the 3, especially because for some of you this is still in creation, and for others of you what is being created is a mixture of your desires and a mixture of your fears, and a mixture of clear communication and avoidance of other types of communication. So a lot going on. I think what I'm going to start off by doing is asking about, for those of you that have not met this person yet, what you need to know about this situation. And for those of you that do know this person, what you need to know about the situation. So for my group 3s that haven't met this person yet, what do they need to know about this situation for their highest good? Keep on manifesting, baby. Be on that manifesting grind. I told y'all you mirror each other. So like, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Okay? And I just turned my hand. Hi, my name is Bob, and I approve this message. That you know that 2010s poppy song. It's like, I got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Yeah, okay. You're on the right track. Like, you're not doing anything wrong. It's your mind that's making you feel that way. And I think what's hilarious is that the same fears that you have, they have too. And like, in terms of their intentions, it's like their intentions are to commit to these manifestations they're creating, but they're also terrified, because they have a lot of investment and a lot of like feelings already for you, and they don't know you. Like, they have a crush on you already. Like, this crush exists in the present. Like, even though you may not have met this person yet, the feelings that they have for you are very real. And it like reminds me of beautiful, beautiful comments I've seen. Like, I saw some on the all about your current or future relationship. I did one recently. Maybe you should check that out. Maybe it would be helpful. Where people were like, I can't wait to meet this person. Like, I already know, like, I already like am so excited to meet them. And like, it just really reminds me of that energy. Like, get excited about what is coming in. Obviously, like, if it's harmful to like, if you don't want to have too much hope, or like if you don't want to get too emotionally invested so that you're not like disappointed at a setback, or like something that you thought would be something that ends up being something else, like maybe they're not there yet, or they're not coming at the timeline that you wanted, understandable. But just know, like, you're on the right track. You are manifesting them, and like, y'all are mirroring. So if there's like situations where you're like, this is me, this is myself, no babe, it's someone else that's a lot like you, and in other ways very different. I think the biggest ways in which you differ are maybe like physicality, like maybe you guys come from different cultures, or you guys are very like, your personalities are very different, but like, well, aspects of your personalities are different. How you express yourselves is different, you know, like what you enjoy doing or what you're comfortable, like how you're comfortable sharing yourself could be very different. You know, they might be the one that's very like, you know, confident and outgoing around others, and you might be more reserved and like, you know, mysterious, you know, but at your core, like you're just two sides of the same coin, really. What about those that already know this person? What do they need to know at this time when it comes to this person, please? Yeah, like, I feel like whatever the situation is, because I feel like the longer I read, the more the more murky the circumstances feel for those of you that are that already know this person. And one way that they could be seeing you right now is like you might be avoiding them or being like more standoffish with them, or they might be hearing from you less. What you really need to know about this situation is that both of you have genuine feelings for one another and wishes and desires for certain outcomes around each other. The challenge might just be aligning the material realm to make it happen. Like whatever blockages are there, your wishes are stronger. And whatever fears and uncertainties are there, your wishes are stronger. And like, I do feel like whatever wishes you have around this situation, I do feel like they will come true. And like, the thing is that you might underestimate the wishes that this person has around you. Because I do feel like first, you make this person very nervous. I'm going to be honest. And I feel like maybe they're very confident and effervescent around everyone except you. And maybe they're more reserved around you. And that might make you very confused. But don't give up on your wishes in this situation. Like, there's a reason why your heart hasn't released this situation. Or there's a reason why. Trust the wisdom of your heart is what I will say. Because that heart wisdom, if you need to let go or move forward for whatever reason, or if this person, if there's some sort of inherent incompatibility where it doesn't serve either of you to be in connection with one another, your heart will release you. But like, I don't really think that's happening. And I think if anything, any setbacks that have happened here, for some of you, there have been no setbacks. It's just that there's a lack of clarity around what this is, how the two of you feel about one another, and where this is going, and a lot of fears of, oh wow, I really like this person. Oh wow, I really have a crush on this person. I really hope that this doesn't end in a pit of fire, you know, like the last situation with another person did, or I just really hope I don't get hurt here. Don't let your fear of getting hurt get in the way of your wishes, because I really feel like this is a classic example of what you're seeking is seeking you. The people that haven't met their person yet are an excellent example of it. And I would be willing to bet y'all have the same desires as each other, but you have the same fears as well. And there could be unique barriers that get in the way of just your ability to communicate more clearly, and also to create a mutually fulfilling situation, or just even create like conversation around what is most beneficial and fulfilling for the two of you. Because maybe you guys are not even at a point right now where you're being honest about how deeply you desire one another. And maybe that's the first place to start. Like, being genuinely upfront about your desires to begin with, I think is a great start. But also I think as well, you guys have the same manifestation abilities. You can have what you wish to happen. Point blank. And I'm actually being really told you should check out K Moon Astro, KMOON Astro. She does lunar updates. She's incredible. She is a good friend of mine. And you should watch the Lightworker ones. And you might want to look at she also does like twin flame updates. I'm not saying that this is what this situation is. But I think that like, I'm more hesitant about using that terminology. If that terminology resonates for you, great. That's just a synchronicity. If it doesn't, it doesn't have to. I think there's just really beneficial information there that might be useful for you, and you should check it out. Ultimately, though, there is a soul connection here. Like, And I think that's why there's so much investment in it. And it's possible that in the past, maybe you guys have had past experiences and past lives where like things didn't work out the way you hoped, or like painful experiences with the other, where despite the desire to connect, like earthly circumstances wouldn't allow it. But I don't think that that's what this timeline is about. Not at all. Okay. Let's ask what will take a breakthrough to success. So for the people that haven't met one another, the breakthrough to making that meeting happen, and for those of you that are together but dealing with this moon energy and this uncertainty, what is the breakthrough to success? And like whatever the success is like maybe it's transparency, maybe it's reaching commitment, whatever it is. So what is the breakthrough needed for success? And I guess let's split it up again. What is the breakthrough needed for successfully manifesting one another? So for the people that haven't met this person yet, what is the breakthrough needed to successfully bring one another into their physical realities and finally meet? Let go of the burden. Let go of the weight of feeling like you have to make this happen. Stop strategizing and start living. This is not a weight you need to carry. You will not miss them. Well, I mean, you might miss them in the sense that like your soul yearns for them, but you won't miss them in the sense that you'll never find them. You guys are on the same planet and alive at the same time. That already, statistical odds, excellent in your favor. Not only that, but you massively underestimate just how serendipitous the universe can be when you're not trying to figure everything out all the time and you're just living. Let me give you an excellent example. I went to Disney World with my mom back like right before COVID happened. Excellent time. Had a wonderful time. We were right by, and mind you, I'm from a very small town. Okay, we're from a very small town. We were by the It's a Small World ride, and we just randomly ran in to family friends that we had no clue were there. And it was just literally just like, they had just decided on a whim, like, oh, let's go to Disney today. We're in Orlando. And like, we just ran into them by the It's a Small World ride. Couldn't have been planned. Was just a silly coincidence. We rode the It's a Small World ride together and we moved on with our lives. But it was cool and it was fun. And that was just like a surprise. That wasn't something that was trying to be created, and maybe that's partially why it happened. And I mean, the odds of that happening in a very crowded amusement park, a little crazy. That sort of thing, like, you're not gonna miss them. Like, with this 10 of Wands, you are unnecessarily burdening yourself. And this is an example of, like, you know how they say, like, with manifestations, you've got to, like, and there's, Keynote posted a video recently about manifesting. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it is chock full of excellent advice. Maybe that video has some wisdom for you. But also, I just feel like you feel like you have to prove something, or that like there's something you need to hit or something you need to do. And it's like, really, it's more so you just need to like let the universe work its magic and try your best to enjoy your life in the meantime. I know it can be hard when you feel this person out there and you haven't met them yet, but like, you're not carrying this burden alone. The universe does have your back. Like, there's a lot of spiritual energy behind this that is watching over you guys and taking care of this. Your job is to live your life and allow divine inspiration to find you, rather than like carrying this burden of feeling like you need to have everything figured out. That expectation is not real. That's an expectation you've placed upon yourself. It's okay to be afraid, and it's okay to be uncertain, and it's okay to be afraid of the unknown. But what's not okay is to feel like you're alone in this, because you're not. And I think that you need to really let go of responsibility, because when it comes to manifesting, this is not a failed manifestation. If it were, this reading wouldn't have found you. If it were, it wouldn't be so aligned with you, and you wouldn't have finished this till the end. You don't have to prove that you're ready for this or earn this. And I know like there's a lot of confusing manifestation advice, so maybe just put it all the fuck down. Put it all down and just live your life. And the most powerful thing you can do is just have faith that they're out there and that they're coming. And maybe focusing less on timing would be helpful, because the hows and the whens are uniquely specific to you, to each of you. And maybe it's sooner than you think. In fact, I almost even wonder if there are certain aspects that need to come into place, like ideas or projects or elements of movement that are important. And this is actually being slowed down because you're unable to really listen to like what your spirit is calling you to, and like what is actually interesting to you and what is motivating and life-giving for you. And it's like slowing down this process. I think it can move faster. Well, time flies when you're having fun. So you want to bring this person in, have fun. Treasure the love that's already in your life. Live your life to the fullest and let go of needing to figure it out. Put the burden on the universe, because not only can the universe carry it, but it's not a burden for them. If anything, their biggest burden is unburdening you because you feel like it's yours to carry. And there's like this fear of letting go, because it's like, what if in letting go, my manifestation stops happening? You can call this a manifestation. I've been calling it a manifestation the whole damn time. But the reality is that the dream of one another was planted in your hearts, and before you came here, I really feel like. So you can't mess it up. It's all gonna work out. Get a massage. Take a walk. Go to a sauna. If you're lucky enough, an onsen or something like that. Okay, for those of my peeps that are in the group of knowing each other, what is the breakthrough to clarity and success? What is the breakthrough needed for clarity and success between the two of them? Or just what is the breakthrough needed for the most aligned outcome for the highest good of both of them, at least at this time? And when I say outcome, I don't mean permanent outcome. I mean just to move through this more like fearful energy and get on the same page and feel more connected. Okay, we have the Six of Pentacles, and can you clarify that? Okay, so, and yeah, Eight of Pentacles on the back of the deck. So this definitely confirms to me that there are certain aspects of this situation that are less about like a lack of feelings or like even fear, and more so just like material circumstances / like just circumstances outside of your control, both of your control, that there's just a need to be patient around. The breakthrough to success is to find balance, and also do not give this situation more energy than you're giving yourself. With the Six of Pentacles being here, I feel like there are blessings already coming to the both of you. Like the road is opening here. Things will be getting easier. The best thing that you can do is find balance and trust that what is needed to bring success here will happen. In fact, I feel like one of the things that, and it's similar to the group that hasn't met each other yet, where it's like, you guys might be forcing and pushing and creating a lot of imbalance in the sense that maybe you guys are pushing yourself to the brink. Maybe you are not getting any sleep at all because you're up fretting about things, or overthinking things to the point where you don't know which way is down and which way is up. Everything is happening in the perfect time and the perfect way here. And whatever will happen is partially a creation between the two of you, and is already being created by your wishes and desires, even the ones maybe you're afraid to speak out loud. But also, what you need to really recognize is that you can let go and you will still receive. You don't have to be like anticipating or trying to figure things out. You don't even need to be doing that at all. Another breakthrough to success that you can have is just align with the spiritual values that bring you peace and that make you feel centered and calm. Continue finding balance for you and practice getting in touch with what your truths are. The fearful ones and the loving ones. The ones around desire and the ones around uncertainty. Just give to yourself a little bit more. And if you have any discomfort around receiving, any discomfort around not going above and beyond or not giving to a ridiculous degree, maybe look at your discomfort around that. I definitely think that if there are times of quiet between the two of you, or times of there's value in that. There's contemplation, and also you guys are on powerful journeys on your own where you're like evolving spiritually. And whatever setbacks or minor blocks there may be, they're very minor. And I don't say that to minimize your experience, because maybe they're very big to you, or they're like, you know, the impact that they've had on your psyche or your emotional body, like maybe they have been very big. But the thing is that what you will receive as a result of moving through them, and the wisdom you will gain, you will look back one day and be like, oh yeah, that I'm actually grateful that happened, or like I learned so much from that experience. Whatever circumstance is happening, use it to your benefit. I also think that the fact that we just have this commitment card here, like this person wants commitment with you. They may just have a very specific idea of what commitment looks like, or they just may be afraid to open up to it right now because their fear is stronger than their feelings, or maybe that's you. But the thing is like if you stay balanced, stay patient, and stay open, I promise the universe will be giving you the resources, the energy, the support, and the assurance that you need in order to make the best decisions for you. And ultimately, like, as long as you make decisions from a place of what's best for you, in addition to what's aligned with your heart, you can't go wrong. And the thing is you might be like, you might find that confusing, but like, if it's really aligned with your heart, it'll be what's best for you too. And sometimes what's best for you will be vulnerability or something that scares you, but there's value and wisdom in that. And instead of attaching to outcome around it, looking at it as something of like, I'm giving something selflessly. I'm giving something because it feels right and authentic. I'm giving this truth that I'm afraid to share, this desire that I have. I'm giving my fear to the universe and giving myself inner peace in the process. Gosh, this really wasn't about a crush. This is about like, I think this is a bit more than a crush. This is intense, but like honestly, all the groups have been really cool. Like I thought this was gonna be like lighthearted and surface level to a degree, and no. Which I mean, like, when are my readings surface level? I guess I should have known I was gonna have the big dogs and the big leagues here, but everything is working according to your highest good here. And I think that there's blessings coming, and don't block your blessings. Be open to receiving. And there's kind of similar advice here where it's like, let go. Like everything that needs to happen is already in process, like in process and in progress. There's nothing you need to be working on. You're already doing great. And like a lot of what's happening here is just the natural process of aligning with the heart in a way that doesn't involve self-betrayal, or in a way that doesn't ignore reality. It's possible that just the circumstances surrounding the two of you will take time to ground into reality. And it's possible too, this person might need time in order to have the resources to ground this into reality, or maybe you will. I don't know. I don't know what your situation is, but I do know I've been talking for a long time, and it's time to go into guidance. And so I hope everything I said made sense. But if you have any interpretations that I did not have, feel free to share them. Because if it resonates for you, it's right. And look, as I open that, we have Unfinished Symphony. I'm trying to decide whether, okay, I'm going to pull a guidance card for my people that haven't met this person yet, and a guidance card for those of you that already know who this person is. However, you are allowed to resonate with both. And if you resonate if you know this person and you resonate with the I don't know them guidance card, take that one. Take what guidance works for you. And if they both work for you, take them both. Okay. But I'm just going to give that division if it's helpful for people. And also, there's nothing wrong with a little more guidance, right? Okay. For my group number 3s, what guidance do you have for my group number 3s that have not met this person that is crushing on them yet? We have Yin. And for my group number 3s that have met this person, that do know who they are, that clearly has some sort of massively confusing situation going on with them that I've been chewing on for however long I've been doing this reading, we have Poised. I feel called to pull another card, so I'm going to pull another card. What guidance do you have for everyone involved? We have Happy. Okay, so point blank, we're not going to tell the other groups how much guidance you got. But like, oh, and on the bottom of the deck, we have Deep Knowing, which is a really powerful card because it basically says deep down, you know the truth here and you can trust it. And look, we have that moon here. Anxiety screams, intuition whispers. Okay. And your fears are not going to ruin manifestations. Your fears just like make it harder to trust and have faith and could slow things down potentially. But even then it just like makes things more stressful. Okay. Let's read your guidance cards. So starting with Yin. Let others take the lead right now. Your power lies in small gestures. Ha! What the fuck did I say? Oh my God, I've said the F word probably too much in this reading, but like, oh, I love that word. And I say it when I get really passionate. And this is the universe being like, yes, like, let us take the lead. Let us help you. You smart, beautiful being. You just need to relax. I don't even know what this accent is, but I actually really like it. It's really fun. Okay. Your power lies in small gestures, soft awareness, and conscious surrender. By yielding the reins, you will find yourself effortlessly moving closer to what you truly desire. Permit others to tell you who they are and who they can be to you by allowing their actions to speak about them. You will be pleasantly surprised. I think here's another thing as well. You want to, if there's anything you need to do in terms of manifesting, like that you should just continue doing, continue envisioning how you see them showing up in your life. Continue envisioning like the future. Continue feeling, allowing yourself to feel the connection that already exists, so long as it's not bringing you emotional torture or like causing you pain. If it's causing you pain, then give yourself the freedom to detach from it. But if it brings you comfort, if it brings you inspiration and hope, allow yourself to sit in that without needing to make stories about it or understand what it means. I feel like that will bring you a lot of peace. Okay, let's see Poised. Oh, wait, one more. When you're confident and happy in your own skin, you are ready for deeper, more intimate relationships. I love how like Spirit is so on point. You have nothing to prove right now. You are completely yourself and can handle anything. Love, relationships, and harmonious new connections are all present now or are coming in. You are ready to give and receive from the heart. This is a beautiful place to be. Yeah. Just be confident and be yourself. Like, I feel like I probably spent an unnecessary amount of time. Actually, no, it is never unnecessary, because if that amount of time and giving you confidence and giving you just the assurance that you need was necessary, then it was time well spent. But basically, I feel like the universe is saying you're ready. And, you know, maybe just one of the biggest challenges is like you guys have been convincing yourselves that you aren't, or one of you has been convincing yourselves that you aren't. Maybe it's you. And maybe you're just ready to just see what happens and be able to receive and give more. It's giving, receive. Okay, finally, happy. I'm happy because I finally get to upload this and be done, because my throat's starting to hurt because I've been talking for so long. Okay. There are moments in a relationship when you just feel good about whom you're with and you know that your heart is wide open to befriend, to love, to care for another without wanting anything in return. This is the kind of happy that you just want to share. The appearance of this card in a reading tells you that joy and contentment are here now, not somewhere else or off in the future. What did I say? Time flies when you're having fun. Oh my gosh, I love being right. That brings me joy. The grass is greenest right where you stand. Be grateful. And that is what I was saying about, like, you do not need to be like incessantly picking apart like what you think should be happening. Focus on what is happening. The value is right there. Be grateful and delight in your relationship. And if you're seeking one, be happy now. Happiness attracts more of itself, like bees to honey. pile 3. Give me a massage. No, that was worth it. I loved every minute of this reading. I really hope it resonated. How long was this? Oh Lord, it was still an hour and 7 minutes. I knew it was a hot minute, but you know me, where's the beef? In every single reading, there's no such thing as a light snack on this channel. But that's cool, that's fine. That's one thing I love about me, and I love about you guys, is that you give me this juicy energy to read. So that is where I'm going to leave this reading, and I know that I am leaving you well, and everything will be great. And if you want to manifest in my comment section, just say, me and my crush, or me and this person, or whatever, are happy. Or instead of saying we will be, just are. We are closer. We are in each other's lives. We are happy, whatever it may be. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background for the first 30 seconds. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me. But if you'd like to support me otherwise, liking the video is really helpful so that others who need to see this reading can find it. You can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. We're getting close to 400,000. It'd be pretty cool to get there, so thank you to everyone who helps me with that. You can check out my merch, my social media. You can leave me a tip. On Cashapp, I'm palehag, and I can respond to you on there with a little emoji. If you can also tip me on PayPal, but I can't respond to you on there. It's just my email. But know that I read your messages and they make me cry a lot, and they, not in a bad way, in a way that just moves my heart, and I'm thankful for the generosity. Also, one time someone tipped me and said I skipped the ads, and then they left a tip, and I was just like, that's so cute though. Okay, I totally get you. It's thanks for tipping me anyway. That's so nice. Okay. You can check out other videos, ones on the extendeds, merch, candles, social media, even though there's not really anything going on there. I want there to be. I just hate Instagram and shit, and okay. You can check out other videos, ones with extendeds, I think I already said that, or just other videos in general. You can share this with a friend. You can just send me some good vibes. I'm sending you good vibes back. I love you guys so much. I hope this reading resonated. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye!